You got her?
I think so.
You might not be seeing the, now do you see something?
I do. It's not line in, but is it the other one? Because we're getting nothing on line in. But then we're getting nothing on line in, but then the microphone array, we actually do get some bouncing levels. But I don't know if that's just there.
Followed by the number 2 seed Anselmo-Merna against Sandhills Valley. Sandhills Valley advancing to the quarterfinals with a 33-26 win over Porter in the opening round on Sunday. Games from Anselmo-Merna will be broadcast tomorrow on QC996.5 and on QC912.com with a live video stream accompanied by the radio call available on the Sandhills Facebook page and YouTube channel. Today's winners will advance to the tournament semifinals scheduled for Thursday at North Platte Community College. Here on the Southwest Conference Basketball Tournament begins today. The Baltimore boys basketball team will travel to Valentine tonight with the winner advancing to tomorrow's quarterfinal round to face Anselmo Merna. Tonight, play between the Indians and the Rangers is scheduled to tip off at 6 o'clock. The Broncos in 20 points against four Nebraska Playhouse from Douglas Figures, but the Nebraska men's basketball team completed 68% in the second half. As Penn State defeated Nebraska 76-65 Saturday afternoon in college basketball. Dr. Pierce the head coach with 20 points.
And good evening and welcome to Anselmo-Merna High School, site of MNAC Girls Tournament action here on KCNI Pure Country. My name is Jeremy Scheip. I'll be joined by Grant Winterer later on in the pregame as we get set for our first of two broadcasts this evening for you on KCNI Pure Country, as well as the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages. As we get set up for that contest between South Loop and Hyannis, we want to start by thanking the sponsors bringing it to you. They include J.R. Meyer Insurance, 4 County Heating and Air, Klang Financial, as well as Callaway District Hospital with Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics, Rocks Underground, Thrivent Financial with Scott Harvey, Callaway Market, Progressive Fertilizer, Agribest Feeds, Rain Dance Repair, Mills Hardware in Arnold, Consolidated, BD Broken Bow, A1 Auto Repair, First State Insurance, Pinnacle Bank Arnold, Henry's Callaway Bar, 4 County Boutique, Nebraska State Bank, Grocery Cart, Custer Federal State Bank, Arrow Seed, Rods Body and Paint, Team Physical Therapy, Trotter Service, Mead Lumber, Shelter Insurance Agent Brent Custer, A to Z Lawn Pro, Squire Septic Service of Myrna, Geared for Sports, Agland ATV, Bruning Bank, The Garden Center, Sargent Irrigation, and Dude Up Plumbing. We'll take a break and hear from some of those sponsors. When we come back, we'll give you a thank you to the video sponsors bringing you this coverage on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages. Welcome back to Anselmo-Merna High School as we're less than 4 minutes away from the tip here on KCNI and the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages. Before we start our broadcast, we want to thank the video sponsors that are bringing you tonight's video coverage. They include Custer Public Power District, BD Broken Bow, The Cattleman's Cut, Prairie Eye Care, Grocery Cart, Colligan, Del Moniger, and Tim Wright. The Callaway District Hospital with the Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics. Palmer Monument, Meade Lumber, Lines Appliance, Broken Bow, Nebraska State Bank, Agland ATV, Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers, Insurance of the Heartland, Central Nebraska Medical Clinic, Broken Bow Livestock, Sandhills Custom Creations, and Moline Seed and Fence, as well as AgriBest Feeds. We're getting close to the tip-off. Should mention for those of you that are watching the stream on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages, you won't be able to hear the radio ads that we are taking during those breaks. We have some audio equipment that is causing us to not be able to send very enjoyable audio during those commercial breaks. So if you hear the audio turn off throughout the evening, that would be the reason why. You will be able to hear the play-by-play and the commentary between Grant and I, though. That part will be fine as we work through these two MNAC games tonight. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll give you the starters, and I'll welcome in Grant, and we'll get underway here in Myrna on KCNI Pure Country.
Being up to date on all the local sports is hard to do, but Consolidated Superfast Broadband can change that. Find all the latest information on local school and broadcast channel web pages, along with news and weather. For more information, call Consolidated at 1-800-742-7464. Plus, look for them now on Facebook, facebook.com/Consolidated Companies.
BD would love for you to be part of their great team. They offer competitive wages, a team environment, and day one benefits. Some include health, life, dental, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply online at bd.com/careers. You can also attend open interviews the first and third Wednesdays of each month in Broken Bow. BD loves supporting youth sports and the bright student athletes who work hard to compete in every contest. Remember, bd.com/careers to start your journey to being part of their great team.
You're listening to Girls MNAC Tournament action on KCNI Pure Country. The tip between Hyannis and South Loop coming up after this commercial break from our sponsors, bringing you tonight's coverage.
New location, same great service. A1 Auto Repair is still in Arnold, excited to get you on the road or keep you there. 110 East 7th, otherwise known as the old John Deere Implement, the former Mills Hardware location. The last building on the south side of Arnold, the first building going north into town, the building south of the Baptist Church, the building on the east just before the Highway 40 bridge. No matter how you describe it, A1 Auto Repair in Arnold invites you to stop by. Say hi soon at their new digs.
At First State Insurance of Arnold, they're proud to say that they can offer you choices. Those choices save you money. They can offer you a variety of choices because they are independent agents. First State Insurance is cheering on the Bobcats all the way. Call Becky or Taylor at 848-2522 to set up an appointment with First State Insurance of Arnold. Proud supporters of the South Loop Bobcat coaches and players who work so hard.
There's a place that's shaped by more than county lines and state borders. It's a place we call home, where moments are shared, where communities are strengthened, and life's special memories happen right here. No matter what home is to you, we're the local bank that can help you make the most of it. Because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
You've been to them, the bars, taverns, and grills that are exactly like the next. Not at Henry's Callaway Bar. They offer a bar experience unlike any other. Try one of Henry's fresh handcrafted drinks or kick back for a beer with friends. If it's an appetite you're bringing with your thirst, look to their amazing homemade pizzas to fill you up, available to dine in or carry out. Call 308-836-4484. A slice of lime and a good time await you at Henry's Bar in Callaway. the oasis in the middle of Nebraska.
Four County Boutique in Arnold is proud to help support the South Loop Bobcats and all that they do. Four County Boutique is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 until 5 and Saturdays from 10 until 3. You'll find quality clothing as well as products and merchandise made by locals from right there in Arnold. Items like jewelry, soaps, chocolates, and more await you at Four County Boutique. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date with new items. Glad to help cheer on the South Loop Bobcats and proud to sponsor this broadcast. Four County Boutique in Arnold on Main Street.
Your starting lineups for tonight's contest are being brought to you by the J.R. Meyer Insurance Agency of Callaway. As your local independent insurance agency, they can offer coverage by many of the most respected companies in the nation. Call 836-2245. Thank you to J.R. Meyer Insurance for bringing you tonight's starting lineups. We'll start with the Hyannis Longhorns. Amy Evans in the starting lineup, as is Faith Ferguson, Riley Anderson, Reagan Anderson, and Juliana Maryhue. For the Hyannis Longhorns, Charles Ferguson is the head coach of the Longhorns. For South Loop, Taylor Ross in the starting lineup, a senior, as is Abby Stahlbaumer. Bryn Schwartz getting the start, as is Ava Pandorf, the 5'5 senior, and Lauren Johnson, 5'5 and also a senior as well. Brian Hansen is the head coach of the South Loop Bobcats. Quite the pregame there. Grant, didn't get a chance to talk to you, but welcome along.
Hey, thanks. I'm really excited to be here, Jeremy. It's going to be a pretty sweet little matchup, I think.
Grant will have the call of our second contest of the evening. They're going to re-jump this one as bad toss to start the evening in the first game. The official, he had another bad toss. The officials have to be in, the other official wants to give him a technical foul. Now they jump it up, and it is won by the Bobcats. We're quickly into the front court. And it's tipped out of there by Hyannis. Getting her hand on it was Faith Ferguson. As I was saying, Grant is going to have the call of the Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley game later on this evening to follow this one. 7 o'clock start time is marked for that one. Whether or not that 7 o'clock time happens depends on how this game goes. South Loop in the half court. They're working right to left as you radio announcers are, or you radio listeners are imagining this one. Shot was put up from three-point range, no good, but the follow by Taylor Ross, we'll be saying that a lot. She likes to crash the boards and she likes putbacks. She scores 2 for the Bobcats. Longhorns back the other way. Evans has it stripped out as she was looking across the lane to Riley Anderson. South Loop wants to take advantage. And South Loop, I believe, turned it over. It got out of the hands of Lauren Johnson. It was too high for her teammate, Bryn Schwartz. 44 seconds gone in this one. Bobcats lead it 2-0. Longhorns with the basketball. Hyannis looking to tie things up or take the lead. With it on the far side is Reagan Anderson. Anderson up to Annie Evans. Evans had it poked away momentarily by Johnson. Now recovers. Johnson on her again. This time called for a foul. Just a little too aggressive with the arm swipe.
Can't really blame her, though. They turned it over on that previous possession, and they'd probably like to get something back.
Johnson goes out for the Bobcats. In for South Loop is Josie Reef. She almost gets a hand on that one. Hyannis retains possession. And now the Bobcats do get a turnover. They almost turn it right back over to Stahlbaumer looking up the court. Pandorf, post-to-post pass. Reif can't handle it. And it's turned over back to Hyannis, who did a good job getting back on defense, kind of affecting that fast break. Now the Longhorns against that press of the Bobcats again, and the Bobcats get a turnover. Quickly ahead, it's put up and in by Taylor Ross, who scores 2 off the assist from Bryn Schwartz. Now a trap is there by South Loop. Hyannis breaks the press.
It's a nice break, too.
In the front court, a foul, and the hoop by Faith Ferguson. Did a good job, put her head down, drove in, initiated the contact. She's looking to complete the three-point play at the stripe. That was foul number 1 on Bryn Schwartz. Shot from the free throw line is a miss from Ferguson. Bobcats back in the half court. No backcourt pressure by Hyannis. They almost get a turnover there on the pass to Pandorf. Bobcats back in the half court. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. They enjoy a 4-2 lead. Pandorf tries to lob for Ross. Who was it off of? It was off of Ross. It'll go back to Hyannis.
You got to give Hyannis a lot of credit for putting on a little bit of pressure in that front court and not letting those tall Bobcats get down low.
Evans over to Ferguson. Ferguson all the way ahead. They've got numbers, does Hyannis, but they can't take advantage. Now a three put up and missed by Ferguson. Long rebound tracked out of there by South Loop. Pandorf holds it up now, throws to Schwartz, who wasn't ready for it, and it's another turnover against the Bobcats. Things kind of helter-skelter here for both teams to start this one out. Maryhugh works it ahead to Ferguson. Faith lost it. Schwartz turned it over. Now Bryn, head full of steam, 1-on-2. She pulls up from 10 anyway and hits it. Nice looking bucket from Bryn Schwartz to score the 5th and 6 points for the Bobcats. Now here comes Hyannis, who turns it over. Unable to handle it was Reagan Anderson in the front court. They're getting those positions where they have numbers against the press of the Bobcats. They're just unable to do anything with it.
They've been breaking it beautifully so far. It is just a matter of finishing.
Bryn Schwartz back in the half court, walks across the timeline, works it near side to Johnson. Lauren drives, gets a nice little screen in the lane from Ross, can't get it to go, but on the weak side rebound, Haley Recoy puts it up and in for South Loop after pulling down the rebound. Ferguson with it, kicks it ahead, Maryhugh with it. Maryhugh lost it, gets it back. Pulling for three as Ferguson left it off the rim. Another rebound pulled out of there by South Loop's Recoy. Now Ross ahead. Nice pass inside to Johnson. Can't get the shot to go. Now Ross picks up her miss. Can't get it to go on the follow, but she is fouled and will head to the line. 4:37 to go here, first quarter. Bobcats with the 8-2 lead, causing some havoc with their full court pressure. Longhorns have been successful at breaking it. They just can't finish it off with the scoring as Ross misses the first one from the line. Pandorf will come back in. Looks like Abby Stahlbaumer is going to be coming in for Taylor Ross, the shooter. Taylor's second shot rims out of there. Rebound pulled out by Hyannis. Out and running is Ferguson. Faith double teamed, little Euro step, gets a shot up at the rim, can't get it to go. Weak side rebound, put it back up, but missing is Reagan Anderson. Back come the Bobcats. Johnson looking for Pandorf, can't track it down. Another turnover against the Bobcats as Stahlbaumer runs in for them. If you happen to be looking for the Sandhills Thedford Arthur game or the Mullen and Twin Loop game, that's on our sister station, KBBN 95.3 FM. As well as KBBN.com. Brent Apperson and Larry Kottner with the call there. As the Longhorns turn it over against this pressure of the Bobcats in the full court. They get it into the half-court area, but unable to get another shot up on that trip. 4:12 to go, first quarter. It's South Loop 8, Hyannis 2, here on KCNI Pure Country, as well as our video streaming avenues.
We've got spirit, yes we do. We've got spirit, how about you? Here at Nebraska State Bank, we've got school spirit. Introducing mascot debit cards from Nebraska State Bank. Now you can go to your local NSB branch and request a new debit card for your favorite high school team. The Broken Bow Indians, South Loop Bobcats, or Anselmo-Merna debit cards are available by instant issue. You'll only pay $10, and the entire amount will be passed along to your school. It's a win-win situation, right? Take your school pride to the next level at Nebraska State Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Anselmo-Merna High School, this side of the quarterfinals in the 2023 MNAC tournament for the girls' side. Abby Stahlbaumer, the bank is open right there from the free throw line. Good quick offense out of the timeout from the Bobcats. And now they poke one out of bounds. It will stay with Hyannis, who has to face this tough full court press again. Taylor Ross back into the game, as is Bryn Schwartz for South Loop. They fall back into this tough pressure, and Schwartz gets a turnover immediately. Now South Loop turns it right back over. Longhorns have one girl back. It's Reagan Anderson. She puts up the shot, can't get it to go. And the fight for the rebound. We're going to have a foul. I believe they might get Pandorf on this one, as Riley Anderson is going to the line for Hyannis. That's Ava's first. She gets the first shot to go from the line. Riley will have a look at the second. And the second can't follow the first. Taylor Ross the rebound for South Loop. Schwartz into the front court. Turns away from Johnson, goes over to Pandorf. Pandorf, a dangerous shooter from outside, doesn't this time. Lauren Johnson now near side to Schwartz. Schwartz, one bounce over to Pandorf. Kind of half fake the three, now drives in, gets all the way to the rim, partially blocked. Ross, the weak side rebound. She's fouled on the putback attempt. She'll head to the line for a couple.
Nice persistence there. Get under the bucket and get to the line. Sometimes that's what it takes to put points on the board.
Sub in for Hyannis. Kylie Madison comes into the game. Ross stands to the line. First shot, nice backspin, and that backspin might have just been the perfect amount as it just falls over the front of the rim. Ross's second shot follows the first, this time all nylon. Hyannis back in that press break. They do break it. On the receiving end was Merrihew, and she's fouled on the drive. Stahlbomber looks like she knows she got caught. 3:13 to go here, first quarter. South Loop, the number 3 seed. Hyannis, the number 6 seed. South Loop Bobcats in control, 12-3. Merrihew kicks it out, 3 up for Riley Anderson. Just left it short. Pandorf tracks down the miss. Ahead, Lauren Johnson. Lauren pushes the issue, can't get it to go, but Stahlbomber follows and scores 2 more for South Loop. Now the tough press again for South Loop. Merrihew cut off on the baseline, throws it out, and who's going to track it down? Nobody will. It will be a turnover back to South Loop.
That press is really coming in huge for them in the first quarter.
Schwartz on the near sideline, gets it in to Pandorf, throws it back to Bryn, who sets up the half-court offense. Over to Lauren Johnson, 18-footer, back of the rim, weak side rebound. Stahlbomber had it swiped away but recovers, and now throws it away trying to get it to Pandorf. Here comes Hyannis. Evans with the bounce, looks at Merrihew, now gets it to her. Just inside the corner, 3-point line. Back out, Anderson, trying to lob it across the lane to Kylie Madison. And now South Loop is going to turn it over on the fast break.
It was almost saved there for a moment, too.
Yeah, very close play down here. A couple of bodies flying. But Hyannis able to grab that turnover. And they're going to give it right back. Simply put, Evans and Ferguson were on 2 different pages there. Ferguson was running up the court when Evans thought she was just going to stay put. Turnover back to South Loop. Ross out to Pandorf. Her 3 is off. Rebound is tracked out of there by Johnson. Up top, Bryn Schwartz kicks it over. Pandorf, another shot. Left it long this time, overcorrected. And it's going to go out of bounds in front of Stahlbomber, back to Hyannis.
When you're rebounding as well as South Loop has been, you kind of feel like you can take a little bit of those risks from the outside more regularly, especially with an 11-point lead.
They're a very good rebounding team. They average about 31 rebounds per game. Now they get a turnover. Ross slaps the ball into the hands of her teammate, who lays it up and in on the inbounds, and Josie was on the receiving end of that one. And with 1:51 to go here in the first quarter, it's South Loop 16, Hyannis 3. Back after this on KCNI Pure Country.
The Grocery Cart Rewards Program is a great way for you to save on items in the aisles and on gas for your car. Every month we feature new products you can purchase with points you earn from shopping at the grocery cart, or use your points at Casey's and Broken Bow to fill up with a discount. Signing up is easy, just ask them at the grocery cart. Scan your card and earn those free groceries. It's easy as that at Grocery Cart in Broken Bow.
Governmental guaranteed loan programs can make dreams happen. That's why Custer Federal State Bank is passionate about helping you with them. Their SBA lending team can help you navigate the process of launching your business and also guide business owners looking to sell or transition their work to another person. Don't let worrying about the ins and outs of getting started push your dreams aside. Talk to Custer Federal State Bank of Broken Bow and Kearney, member FDIC.
Ag producers know that healthy soil is the foundation for profitable, productive, and environmentally sound agricultural systems. Learn more about grazing strategies at AeroSeed's annual Soil Health Conference Wednesday, February 15th in Broken Bow, Nebraska, featuring Steve and Amber Kenyon from Greener Pastures Ranching. Seating is limited for this free conference, so pre-registration by February 8th is required. To learn more and to register online, visit aeroseed.com or call AeroSeed in Broken Bow by February 8th.
Back to the action in Merna. South Loop unable to get something out of the timeout. And Hyannis back in the half court. Something they've not been able to do for very long so far this evening. They do turn it over. Bobcats back in the half court. Schwartz backs it out. Her team up 16-3 with just over a minute to go. Schwartz drives in and gets the friendly roll here in Merna. Scorched from about 6 feet out. Laid it up nice and soft off the iron. Merrihew with it into the front court for Hyannis. Almost gets it poked out from behind. Now stepping into a three is Ferguson. Can't get it to go. Long rebound out of bounds. Back to South Loop as Stahlbomber comes back in. And Johnson comes back in for South Loop. I believe I also saw Amy Evans run back in for Hyannis. 47 seconds left here in the first quarter. South Loop with the 18-3 lead. It's a three in the corner for South Loop. They can't find the rim, but now Johnson tracks down the weak side rebound. Gets it up to Schwartz. Schwartz just kind of had it tipped out of there. It goes into the hands of Ferguson, who pushes the issue. Can't get it to go in the fast break. Gets her own miss. Can't get the follow to go. And now Stahlbomber pulls it down the third time around for South Loop, who has 14 seconds to work with. No doubt Coach Hansen wants one shot here. Stahlbomber in the corner. Off to Schwartz, up to Johnson. Now near side, putting up the shot. Rafe can't get it to go. And the rebound is pulled down by Hyannis as time expires on the first quarter. South Loop takes an 18-3 lead into the second quarter here on KCNI Pure Country, as well as our Facebook and YouTube streaming apps.
We definitely desire perfection on is our vehicles. You want something that gets you to where you're going comfortably while looking great. Whether storm damage, deer damage, or insurance claim, take your ride to Rod's Body and Paint Broken Bow. They're the collision specialist. You should call 308-872-5346. Offering over 42 years of experience, they'll get you back on the road quickly without sacrificing quality. From dings and dents to full replacement and auto glass repair. Rod's Body and Paint, West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Team Physical Therapy is happy to help bring you this broadcast. Did you know that we can treat you right in your home if you are not able to come into our clinic? We provide balance assessments and treatments, education on improving home safety, caregiver education, and evidence-based one-on-one care. These services are available out of all 5 of our locations in Broken Bow, Callaway, Kearney, Burwell, and Gothenburg. Call us to learn more at 872-5111. For Team Physical Therapy, that's 872-5111.
Your friends at Klang Financial are honored to help with any of your health and life insurance questions, as well as any retirement planning needs you may have. You can reach them at 872-6810. That's Klang Financial, located in downtown Broken Bow. That is 940 South D Street. Thank you to Klang Financial for sponsoring this broadcast. Hyannis back in the half court out of the first quarter break, end of first quarter break. Ferguson with it on the far wing. One dribble up to Merrihew. Merrihew uses the bounce, drives in, finds a little lane there, puts it over to her teammate Anderson, who has her shot blocked. Bobcats back in the front court with Recoy. Recoy stops, kicks it over. Reif puts it up and in from 6 feet out. Quick offense from South Loop again.
You got to give credit to the vision there to find Reif right there wide open instead of taking that contested shot.
Into the front court, Faith Ferguson dribbles around a double team, stops from 15 feet, can't get it to go on the runner. The rebound, Merrihew has it, now loses it. Reif comes out of there with it, and a jump ball is eventually called under the rim. Taylor Ross back into the game for South Loop. Maggie Burkle also into the game, I believe for the first time. That's the first time we've seen Maggie. Hyannis showing a little bit of a press themselves. They match up full court. Pandorf with it, quickly ahead to Schwarz. Oh, that one was close to being a turnover. Merrihew almost caused Schwarz to touch that last, but it stays with the Bobcats. 52 seconds gone on the lob to Schwarz. Schwarz keeps driving, gets all the way to the hoop. Good patient dribbling from Bryn, and she scores 2 more for South Loop.
Super measured, a couple drops to the floor, and then just finds the hoop.
Now Taylor Ross, good pressure on that press. She gets the steal, can't get the shot to go. And now Pandorf is the committer of the foul as they were fighting for the loose ball. That's her second. With the court in front of them, Merrihew inbounds it for the Longhorns. They get it ahead to Evans. Evans, nice pass over to Anderson, and Riley Anderson gets it to go. Now that was a nice-looking press break.
That's how you do it. Someone's going to be wide open if you can just find him down there.
Bryn Schwarz with the bounce against the press the other way. Taylor Ross, jump stop, back to Schwarz. Bryn, couple of dribbles, over to Reif. Now back to Bryn, who backs it out. 6:30 to go here, first half. Bobcats on top, 22-5. Almost knocked out of there, but Reif comes away with it, puts up the shot, can't get it to go. And it's eventually turned over on the inside pass. Evans comes away with it for Hyannis. Evans dribbling around everybody, lost her footing down by the baseline, and a tie up is going to be called directly under the hoop. Possession arrow will keep it on the far end with Hyannis. The lob goes into Faith Ferguson. Couple of bounces, stops at the free throw line, kicks it out. Riley Anderson misses the 3 long. Reif the rebound for South Loop. Under 6 to go now. Bobcats back in the half court. Pandorf with it far side. Ava, one dribble. High, low look. Reif on the receiving end from Taylor Ross. And Reif gets it to go for 2. And now she picks off a pass and scores it again. That's 4 quick points in 5 seconds for Josie Reif. .530 to go. All Bobcats so far, 26-5 over Hyannis. South Loop digs in defensively. Ferguson, couple of dribbles, and traveled with it before putting up the shot from about 10 feet out. Full court pressure coming from the Longhorns again. Trying to search for something to cut into this 21-point lead that their opponent has at the moment. Schwarz just going to break the press by herself with the bounce. Tries to look post to post, and it's going to be turned over. Back into the hands of the Bobcats, is unable to handle it before going out of bounds with the Longhorns. In for Hyannis, Kylie Madison. And also coming in for Hyannis is Abby Rath. Comes in for Merrihew. Schwarz to key it in, lobs it for Taylor Ross, skies for it, somehow comes down with it. They work it around to Pandorf. Pandorf's 3 hits. She gets all 3 from the corner right in front of us. And with 5 minutes to go here in the first half, it's a 29-5 lead for South Loop.
You know, she's been checking them up all the first quarter. One of them was probably going to fall.
Back the other way, Hyannis searching for some offense. Can they get it? Here they do. The drive from Reagan Anderson. She scores it. Just let the defense go by and drove in. Now Schwartz, triple teamed. Kicks it out. They work it around. Taylor Ross, now Pandorf. Fires from the opposite wing. Can't get that one to go. Ross on the boards again. She gets the follow to go. Taylor Ross leads the team with just under 9 rebounds per game this season for the 8-5 South Loop Lady Bobcats. They dig in on defense. Ferguson had her shot blocked down on the short corner. Now Reif pushing the issue, gets it off to Pandorf, who sets up the offense. Over to Schwartz, wasn't quite looking yet. She kind of cracks a smile as they work quickly into their offense. Now Taylor Ross on the receiving end at a high-low look from Stahlbaumer. Another 2 put in for South Loop. Clock ticks under 4 here in the second quarter. Ferguson, right wing, gets it up top to Rath. Rath over left side to Madison. Madison, slow dribbler over to Anderson. Reagan, a couple of dribbles, has it slapped away. Stahlbaumer can't come away with it, but it was off of her last. And 5 substitutes coming in, 3 for South Loop, 2 for Hyannis. We'll call them out as they touch the basketball or play defense. Hyannis, the inbounds from the near sideline. Merrihew gets it. Juliana fouled. They're going to get recoil on this one. Just a little bit of a hand check. Recoil's first foul. Juliana Merrihew with the bounce again, working against Recoy. Spins at the top of the key. Now goes near side over to Anderson. Riley looking for the lob, gets it into Evans. Evans, double team, tries to shoot through it, but they say she stepped on the baseline, and it's a turnover against the Longhorns. Press is gone for Hyannis. They dig in the defensive side in the half court. A little bit of 2-3 zone here. Reif with it, far side. One dribble up to Johnson, now near side, Pandorf. Pandorf looks inside to Recoy. Had it slapped away, but it was lashed off of her shin. That's a turnover back into the hands of Hyannis. Riley Anderson will get a rest. Coming in for her is Reagan Anderson. So it's Anderson, Merrihew, Madison, as well as Faith Ferguson and Amy Evans. Big collision over there on the near side. The screen essentially for Ferguson. Her shot is a miss. Reif is in control of the rebound. Had it swiped away by Evans, who saves it in the corner. Ferguson tracks it down. Pandorf almost got a turnover, but the Longhorns retain possession. I don't know how Evans got that ball to stop so perfectly in the corner, but she did.
And then the vision to turn it around so quickly. And she had her back to the whole court.
2:30 to go first half. Bobcats a commanding 33-7 lead. Down inside, Hyannis gets a shot up from Juliana Merrihew. Can't get it to go, but she will earn a trip to the line, which might just be what the Longhorns need to do. Get a couple of trips to the line, see that ball fly through the net, and kind of reset yourselves in the half-court offense going forward. Merrihew all nylon on that one. Back in for South Loop. Taylor Ross also in for the Bobcats is Burkle. Maggie takes the far block. Merrihew, second shot, follows the first. Very solid looking free throws coming to her for the 8th and 9th points for the Longhorns. Pandorf kicks it off. Johnson can't get the 3 to go from the corner, and the rebound pulled out of there by Reagan Anderson. A foul called, and Coach Ferguson's got to be really happy here, Grant, with his team's fight despite being down 33-9. They're still crashing the boards and attacking very, very hard.
They're going for every ball they possibly can, and it's showing they're getting to the line, and they're starting to maybe break this press a little bit. We've seen that this quarter.
At the line, Reagan Anderson. Can't get the first one to go in the bonus situation. Ross Gets the rebound ahead to Bryn Schwartz. Doesn't like what she sees, so she pulls it out. Bryn, a very good ball handler. Dribbles around the defense. Gets it out to Reif. Reif works it near side. Now kicks it back over far side to Bryn Schwartz. Back up top to Johnson. Lauren surveys, now dribbles. High post, look to Ross. Had it poked away. Foul's going to be called on Reagan Anderson of Hyannis. Just a little bit too much in the back. 1:51 to go here. It's an inbounds on the baseline. Schwartz scoops it in. Johnson attacks, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled out of there by Anderson. Here comes Hyannis. Faith Ferguson wants to drive. Does so. Can't get the shot to go. Tracks down her own miss. Now in the corner. Has numbers due to Hyannis. And a scoop shot from Evans. Doesn't fall. Bobcat possess it. Schwartz dribbling against the block coming in. And tracking it down, Taylor Ross. And what do we got? We've got a jump ball. Wouldn't have been surprised about 3 different times during that possession to see a foul call. Things getting pretty physical here late in the first half. But the refs hold on to their whistle and wait until that tie-up situation. South Loop back in the half court. They work it far side over to Burkle. Back up top to Johnson. Lauren near side, tracking it down. Bryn Schwartz, free throw line. Nice pass inside to Taylor Ross, who scores it for 2 more. Hyannis with 1 minute to work for. Coach Charles Ferguson says, hey, let's go, let's get one. They work it inside. Kick out. Reagan Anderson attacks from the short corner. Her 2 can't fall. Rebound out of bounds back to South Loop. Good look in the half court there for Hyannis. Now the inbounds. Evans applies a little pressure and almost gets the turnover. She last touched it. Goes out of bounds on the far sideline. Now Hyannis comes up, applies a little bit of backcourt pressure. They do allow the inbounds to Schwartz this time, though, with 40 seconds left in the first half. Bryn with the bounce. Gets it ahead to Johnson, now gets it back up top. Now Bryn tries the far side. Reif thought about the 2 from the long distance side of things. Passes it back. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Hansen wants to see 1 shot here to end the half. 20 seconds now as the Bobcats show patience. Reif playing a little bit of catch over there with Schwartz. Dribbles around, gets it off. Schwartz, 1 dribble, back to Reif. Now Johnson, near side top of the key. Johnson tries to get it over into the hands of Schwartz. Ross recovers it. Shot is put up by Reif, who is fouled. And will head to the line with 1.1 seconds on the clock. She shot that with the perfect amount of time on the clock because it allows for a rebound putback if the shot is not made, or in this instance, she gets a trip to the line. She gets the first one to go. That, by the way, the second foul on Amy Evans. She'll go to the bench as, coming in is a player we don't have on our roster, actually, for Hyannis. Second one from Reif is a miss. Mayhew tracks it down in the corner, and time expires on our first half. South Loop 36, Hyannis 9. We'll take a break. When we come back, Grant will have a look at the halftime numbers here on KCNI Pure Country.
Athletes you're cheering on during this broadcast practice and study in order to get their competition and schoolwork done right. At Trotter Service, they do the same, except with your vehicle repairs. Whether you need a new battery, brake work, an alignment, tires, wheels, or an overhaul, trust their auto repair specialists to tackle the job. Don't forget bulk oil and fuel delivery and on-the-farm tire truck service too. Proud to help bring you this broadcast, Trotter Service in Broken Bow.
The chilly season is here. No need to be wearing a stocking hat inside. Talk to them at Mead Lumber in Broken Bow and get your home's insulation upgraded. Not only will you keep the cold outside in the winter, you'll also have a more efficient, clean, and healthy home. At Mead Lumber, they do their very best to accommodate you with information on your project. Check out the awesome resources they offer at meadlumber.com as well. Mead Lumber in Broken Bow, Visit them today on East Highway 2.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Ask Shelter Agent Brett Custer about how to protect what you have waited for.
A to Z Lawn Pro is moving, but don't worry. They'll continue to offer their great services such as fertilizer, weed, and bare ground programs. Plus, they'll help you with grass seedings during the spring and fall seasons. Their new shop will be at their house. The address is 2056 North 9th Avenue. A handy payment drop box will be out front. Their phone number's changing too. It's now 308-870-1762. A couple of changes, but the same great service from A to Z Lawn Pro.
Septic emergencies are right up there on the list of worst emergencies to have.
Absolutely.
The next time you're facing one, give Squire's Septic Service a call. 870-0717. He's ready to take your call 24 hours a day.
Absolutely.
His sewer camera can find problems fast to save you money. Plus, he can clear drains with Roto-Rooter or Jetter. Oh, and Gary has Porta units too. Squire's Septic Service of Myrna. 870-0717. Don't wait to call until it's too late.
Absolutely not.
Geared for Sports in Broken Bow is all about gearing you up for sports. Whether it's for participating or for cheering from the stands, they have it. Continuing this week is their semi-annual show sale. All regular priced shoes are marked at 20% off. So head through their door on west side of the square and bring your feet to do some test fitting. Geared for Sports, open Monday to Friday 10 to 6 and Saturdays 10 to 4. Get your gear at Geared for Sports in Broken Bow.
We are at the half of matchup 1 of 2 this evening. South Loop with the commanding 36-9 lead over Hyannis. Before we get to those numbers that Grant has in front of him, we want to thank another one of our sponsors, Thrivent Financial Representative Scott Harvey. You have plenty of choices when it comes to financial advisors, but while others see money as a goal, Thrivent Financial sees it as a tool for connecting your faith, your family, and community. At Thrivent, they help Christians make wise choices about their money and to live generously. If you want to connect your faith and finances, call 308-872-2511 to learn how Scott can help you. Thank you to Scott Harvey with Thrivent Financial for bringing you this sports broadcast. And with a look at those halftime numbers, here's Grant.
Well, Jeremy, it's certainly been the Taylor Ross show so far. She's got 12 points, leading all scorers, and right behind her is Josie Ripe with 9. Abby Stahlbaumer's got 4, and Bryn Schwartz has 6, and Ava Pandorf has been held to only 3 points, but it was an enormous three-pointer, and you got to think she'll probably get it going in the second half. For Hyannis, Faith Ferguson's got 2, Riley Anderson's got 3, Regan Anderson's got 2, and Juliana Merrihew has 2 as well. Ava Pandorf leads all players in fouls with 3. Abby Stahlbaumer's got 1, Bryn Schwartz has 1. Haley Recoy has 2, and Lauren Johnson has 1. Now, Hyannis has turned the ball over 19 times compared to South Loop's 12, and they're getting out-rebounded, Hyannis is almost 4-1.
All right, thank you very much, Grant. One other score to pass along to you over on our sister station, KBBN 95.3 FM. Brent Amperson and Larry Kottner have the call of the Mullen and Twin Loop game going on. It happens to be at halftime as well. That is a 19-18 lead for Mullen over Twin Loop at the half in that one. So they've got a close game over on the other side of the bracket. Later on this evening, over there on KBBN, they'll have the number 1 overall seed, Sandhills Thetford, facing Arthur County, who earned a trip into the quarterfinals on Saturday by defeating Brady in a close one, 39-37. Later on this evening, here on the court in front of us, Grant will have the call as the 2 seed Anselmo-Merna faces Sandhills Valley. The Mavericks got a victory on Saturday, 33-26 over Cody Kilgore, and their gift is playing the number 2 seed Anselmo-Merna Lady Coyotes. About 4.5 minutes away until second half action here on KCNI Pure Country. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll get you set up for it. Thanks for choosing KCNI.
Agland Day TV would like to acknowledge all the local athletes and coaches from our area. We are proud of the athletes for the sportsmanship, hard work, and dedication that they put into each season. Agland ATV knows all about working hard and playing hard, just like a Polaris. Best of luck to all the local teams from Agland ATV, West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
ATVs can be hazardous to operate. Polaris adult models are for riders age 16 and older. Always wear a helmet and be sure to take a training course. Polaris machines are not intended for on-road use.
As you head out the door to support your favorite team and athlete, don't forget to take Bruning Bank with you. With our free mobile banking app, you can handle your daily banking needs from anywhere, even the bleachers. Check your balance, monitor transactions, deposit checks, and send and receive funds to family and friends with Zelle. Learn more at BruningBank.com. Bruning Bank is a proud sponsor of area athletics and wishes all students a safe and successful season. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Anytime is a good time to buy plants because of indoor plants. The Garden Center has some rare and exciting indoor plants you need to lay eyes on. They're priced right and they're rare. Some might even call them unusual. They will satisfy your need for something new and different. They have the potting soil, creative and stylish pots, and plant displays you need too. Closed Sunday and Monday, open Tuesday to Friday 10 to 5:30 and Saturday 10 to 2. Open year-round for you, the Garden Center in Broken Bow.
Sargent Irrigation may be known worldwide, but their roots are right here in central Nebraska, something they are very proud of. They hire right here in the heartland and know their success is due to those quality employees. As a way of showing support for the community, Sargent Irrigation sponsors high school sports broadcasts so those unable to attend can follow the action. Enjoy the broadcast, sponsored in part by Sargent Irrigation in Broken Bow.
When it comes to plumbing, Scott and Colton with Duda Plumbing are proud to be your one-stop plumbing shop. They do septic pumping. Trust them. You do not want to put it off. Contact them for everything from new construction to remodels, service and drain cleaning to septic installations and sewer camera inspections. Scott and Colton are proud to support the area's student athletes by bringing you this broadcast. Contact Duda Plumbing, where they do the plumbing.
The Callaway District Hospital, along with the Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics, are proud of the South Loop Bobcats. New patients are always welcome. They understand that healthcare is evolving and are committed to providing local access to high-quality care by continuing to invest in the latest diagnostic and treatment technology. Their specialty is primary care. Callaway District Hospital and the Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics cheering on the South Loop Bobcats.
Rocks Underground serves central Nebraska with expertise in water and irrigation services. Need some help? Call Rocky Dockweiler at 870-3457. Rocky salutes the student athletes of the area and all the hard work they put in each and every season and is very proud of the young men and women that live in central Nebraska. Enjoy this broadcast, brought to you in part by Rocky Dockweiler with Rocks Underground in Oconto.
Welcome back to Merna as we get set for the second half of this South Loop and Hyannis matchup. Grant, what are some keys for both of these teams as we work into the second half?
Well, what Hyannis is really going to have to do is figure out a way not only to break the press, but set up their offense in the half court. They haven't had a whole lot of luck, but their points have come when they finally set up and knock down those shots that they know they can hit. South Loop, they're just going to have to keep doing what they're doing. They are playing like the 3 seed that Brian Hansen has made them, and they should just be able to stay the course and stay tough.
Hyannis in front of us in the half court, and a travel is called out of the gate.
Not really what you want to do to kick off the half, but they can get back.
They go back on defense. Schwartz brings it up, kicks it off to Johnson. South Loop in the half court. Pandorf with it, top of the key, over to Bryn. Bryn, one dribble, gets it out, high post. Taylor Ross kicks it out. Pandorf, 3 on the way. Couldn't get it to fall. Rebound pulled out of there by Riley Anderson of Hyannis.
This is what you do now, is take your time down the floor.
Longhorns in the half court. Schwartz picks up Ferguson. Ferguson cut off, kicks it out. Long 2 put up by Reagan Anderson. Can't get it. Schwartz the rebound, wants to push. Now holds it up. 45 seconds gone here in the third. Taylor Ross, high post look, kicks it out to Pandorf. No shot this time. Pandorf flies it over to Johnson. Now Schwartz Down into Stahlbomber, turns, shoots, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled out of there by Schwarz. Excuse me, that's Lauren Johnson. Got landed on a little bit. She's kind of laughing that one off rather than kind of cringing it off. She runs back on defense. I don't know about you, but I tend to hurt a little bit more than she is when a human being falls on me.
Yeah, I'd definitely wake up with a couple bruises.
Back the other way, Ferguson on the drive, gets the angle and the soft touch to score 2. Longhorns now in double digits. They're back on defense. Stahlbomber down inside. Tries to kick it back out to Pandorf. It's knocked out of there by Ferguson.
It's a nice little defensive stand, too.
Now the inbound from the corner. Schwarz calls out the call. Gets it in. Johnson, low to high look to Taylor Ross. Now out to Pandorf. Ava backs it out. 6:30 to go, third quarter. Ava down into the short corner, backs it out. Stahlbomber kicks it out. Bryn Schwarz, a rare shot from Bryn. Can't get it to go. Johnson tracks down the rebound. Now Schwarz, top of the key, resets. Over to Pandorf. Ava holds up. Up top, Johnson. Now Schwarz, near side. South Loop looking for something inside, using some nice patience. Now they get it in. Taylor Ross turns, shoots, can't get it to go. Rebound, Hyannis. Faith Ferguson will back it out. And now cross the timeline. Ferguson drives against Schwarz, cut off. Quadruple team for a moment, spins out of it, can't get the shot to go. Got a good look though. And the rebound thrown out of bounds by Riley Anderson. Back to South Loop.
Got to give them a lot of patience, Hyannis, on the defensive end for not overcommitting and giving up those easy buckets like they had in the first.
5:40 to go, third quarter. South Loop the 36-11 lead. Lauren Johnson with it, far side. Off to Pandorf. High look. Kicked out. Schwarz, the three-pointer off the back rim. Can't get it to go. Ferguson tracks down the rebound and is immediately trapped in the corner. Had it slapped away by Stahlbomber. Now South Loop will retreat and pull off the pressure. When you're used to that full court press, you just kind of fall right into it right away. I know that's what a coach wants, but maybe not at this juncture.
Yeah, when you're up by 25.
Ferguson dribbles, far side, loses her dribble, gets it up top. Madison. Excuse me, that's Reagan Anderson. They work it around, and it goes out of bounds, but it's slapped out of there, I believe by Schwarz from the hand of Merrihew.
Should give Hyannis an opportunity to set something up and maybe get the gears rolling on the offense like they haven't really had a chance to do.
They stack everyone up on the edge of the lane. They kick it in. Ferguson's three, can't get it to go. The rebound pulled out of there by Reif. Reif off to Schwarz, and we're off and running it back in the half court. South Loop's offense works it near side. Reif up to Johnson, now far side to Schwarz. 4:45 to go, third quarter. Still working, not really a weave. It's a weave at times, but just a little bit of perimeter catch every now and then. The Bobcats looking for something good inside. Ross, often the cornerstone of that offense from that high post look. They get it inside, shot can't fall. Schwarz on the follow. This one won't fall either, but that's because she got fouled pretty darn hard there on the near side block.
Yeah, that was Amy Evans, and that's going to be her third, Jeremy.
Amy's been kind of swarming all over the place defensively for Hyannis. She's definitely a high-energy player, I can tell that, as Schwarz gets the first one to fall. Bryn second. Doesn't follow the first. Merrihew pulls down the miss for Hyannis. Gets it off to Ferguson, and we're off and running with the Longhorns offense. Ferguson drives in, gets it off to Evans. Nice pass. Evans can't get the lay-in to go. Tough angle to work with, and Ross pulls down the rebound for South Loop.
It's a really nice cut there in the lane, though.
South Loop back in the half court. Back to that perimeter catch, looking for something inside. At the high post in this set, it's Haley Recoy rather than Ross. Lauren Johnson can't get the shot to go on the far side. Shot put up on the lane position from Schwarz. She can't get that to go, and Hyannis controls this time. Longhorns into the front court. They trail 37-11 in this one. Evans dribbles around the defense of Johnson. Now they work it into the corner. One step and a shot put up by Anderson. Can't get it to fall. A rebound pulled out of there by Taylor Ross.
Got to credit Josie Reif there for closing that distance on a pretty open look real quickly.
Reif has it near side, up to Johnson. Now back to Reif. Couple of dribbles, doesn't like what she sees, throws it away. Faith Ferguson intercepts it. Faith pushing the issue, puts it up and scores it over the outstretched arms of Schwartz. That was quite the shot.
That was a really nice looking bucket.
Schwartz has it swiped away. Good energy from Faith Ferguson, almost had another turnover. Now Taylor Ross, one dribble, puts up the shot from the deep block, or the far block I should say, and scores another 2 for South Loop. Ferguson asks for some help and now dribbles it towards the timeline. Hyannis in the half court. They get it to Merrihew. She attacks against Ross, now kicks it out. The 3 is put up, left short by Faith Ferguson. A fight for the rebound is going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will send it back to South Loop as we've got subs coming in. Pandorf back in, Stahlbomber as well. Also in for the Bobcats comes Maggie Burkle.
I know you probably don't want to slow down a whole bunch when you're down by this much, but I actually like the idea of Hyannis getting an offense going and starting to move forward a little bit to get a little bit of comfortability with what's going on.
Lots of season left, including sub-districts. So this is a good time to get into your offense a little bit. Every single rep is a good rep, and I know that Coach Ferguson would agree with me on that one. He's a fun guy to watch coach over there on the sideline.
Yeah, we talked to him a little bit earlier before the game, and he was an absolute joy.
Pandorf with it, high post, up to Stahlbomber, attacks, can't get the shot to go, but she's fouled. They might get, you're going to get Reagan Anderson on this one maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So Stahlbomber to the line, trying to make it an even 40 for the Bobcats. This one doesn't fall, gets about every bit of the rim possible. Abby Rath comes in for Hyannis. Getting a rest will be Reagan Anderson. Stahlbomber's second shot gets the friendly roll off the side rim here in Merna. Ferguson brings it up. Coach Ferguson calls out the play from the sideline, and Hyannis works into it quickly. Faith kicks it out. 18-footer is put up left just short by Kylie Madison. Rebounded by Reif. Off to Pandorf, who will bring it up. Ava works it far side. Still dribbling, short corner, scoops it out to Recoy. They play a little bit of catch before Pandorf works it near side to Reif. Back to Recoy, now Pandorf. Everyone taking a glance inside. They work it real quick to Stahlbomber at the high post, who works it back out quickly. Good ball movement again here from the Bobcats. 1:10 to go, third quarter. Now attacking, Reif turns around, back out to Recoy. Now Pandorf. Ava left to right, now right to left. Spins over to Recoy. And now Recoy turns it over. Was looking for Stahlbomber, but stepping in front of it was Faith Ferguson.
She's been all over the place so far this game.
Ferguson stops at the free throw line, blocked by Stahlbomber, and a tie-up after the block. Schwartz comes back in, as does Taylor Ross. I believe I also saw Lauren Johnson come back into the game for South Loop. Running back in for Hyannis, the mystery player, not on our program. She receives it at the top of the key, works it over far side to Madison. And up top to Rath. Back to Ferguson. Faith fires away, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled out of there by Ross, who's having another good night on the boards. Lauren Johnson, far side 3, left it short. Rebound pulled out of there by Hyannis. Grabbing that one was Georgia Grover. 20 seconds to go, third quarter. Bobcats the 40-13 lead. Hyannis with the ball. Ferguson dribbling against Schwartz. Now she gets it back in the corner after a couple of catches. Short corner. Puts up the shot, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled out of there by Stahlbomber as time expires. At the end of 3, it's South Loop leading at 40-13 over Hyannis. We'll take a break and come back with the 4th here on KCNI.
At the Callaway Market, they appreciate their amazing customers who choose to shop local with them. That's why they offer their loyalty program, which has allowed them to give thousands of dollars back to the community. Your friends at Callaway Market invite you to shop their aisles, quality meat counter, and bountiful and beautiful produce section. On Mondays, a senior discount of 10% off is given. Thank you for shopping local from the Callaway Market. Open 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Saturday and Sundays from 11 till 5.
At Progressive Fertilizer in Callaway, you'll often see them sporting their South Loop Bobcat Blue because they love to support their team. Student athletes work hard both academically and in sports, and Progressive Fertilizer is proud to support their dedication by helping bring you this sports broadcast on the radio. Wishing the team the best of luck and saying, "Go Bobcats." Progressive Fertilizer in Callaway.
4 County Heating and Air owners Brian Hogg and Austin Cox serve the area with a combined 20 years of experience in the HVAC industry. They provide free estimates and 24-hour service there for you in any season. Call 4 County Heating and Air in Broken Bow, 872-2258. South Loop back in the half court. Hyannis almost gets a pick off. Now they work it around. Far side, Lauren Johnson can't get the 3 to go. Weak side rebound, Taylor Ross can't get it. Stahlbomber, the second putback. She can't get it to fall. Now Faith Ferguson tracks it down, turns it over into the hands of Stahlbomber, who's kind of punched in the side of the face essentially there by Amy Evans. She comes away laughing, though. I don't know what it is about these South Loop Bobcats and laughing when they get hurt, but they're tougher than I.
No kidding.
I tend to not laugh when I get punched in the face. Not that it's happened often. I like to think I don't have a very punchable face. Bryn Schwartz to key it in for the Bobcats. Doesn't like her first option. The second option's poked out of there by Hyannis. And Ferguson will bring it up with 30 seconds gone here in the 4th. Faith into the front court, chooses the far side, dribbles there. Gets it off into the hands of Reagan Anderson, who attacks. Free throw line jumper missed. Pulled out of there by Stahlbomber, quickly ahead to Lauren Johnson. Johnson thought about challenging the 1-on-2 situation, but loses the ball, and a tie-up situation will give it back to Hyannis. So Longhorns doing the right thing, just being there sometimes can be enough to cause your opponent to turn it over.
And it's worked a couple times so far.
Faith Ferguson into the front court. 1 minute gone here in the 4th. Faith, crossover dribble, tried to feed it in down low to her teammate Anderson, but it's turned over back to South Loop. Schwartz up to Stahlbomber, drop step, can't get the shot to go, and Ross can't handle the weak side rebound. It's turned over back to Hyannis.
Coach Ferguson's really leaning into this. He's a little bit upset that they can't get those rebounds as consistently as he might like.
On Taylor Ross, she goes full steam ahead when it comes to rebounding the basketball. She treats it just like a scoring play, as Hyannis going to draw a foul on Taylor Ross as Maryhugh is driving in. Juliana will drop back into the inbounds play for the Longhorns as Reif comes back in. Pandorf will get a rest for South Loop. Ferguson on the receiving end of that one, puts up a 3, can't get it to go. Taylor Ross pulls down the rebound, and with 6:20 to go here in the 4th, South Loop back in the half court. Johnson with it, far side. Now up top. Reif traveled with it, slid that pivot foot a little bit, and gives it back to Hyannis as Pandorf will check back in.
Sometimes that's all it takes, is that little bit of movement to turn the ball over.
Recoy will come back in for South Loop as well. So Stahlbomber will get a rest, as will Lauren Johnson. So defensively, it will be Pandorf, Ross, Recoy, Reif, and Schwartz. Ferguson brings it up for the Longhorns. They work it far side. Anderson with it. Anderson lost it initially. Now recovers, but she's lost her dribble. Gets it somehow in the short corner to Reagan Anderson. Ferguson over to Evans. Evans, free throw line jumper, can't get it to go. Rebound, tracked down on the far side, but now knocked out of bounds. This could be off anybody.
Yeah.
A lot going on over there. It does go to South Loop. .5:45 to go, fourth quarter. Bobcats looking like they're well on their way to the semifinals to be played in North Platte later on this week. Reif off to Pandorf, quickly into Taylor Ross. Drop step, partially blocked, but on the follow through, they're going to get the foul here on Reagan Anderson of Hyannis.
I believe
well,
that
actually, no. Yeah, they gave it to Faith Ferguson, also down there in the area. Taylor Ross left that one off the front of the iron. Couldn't get it to fall. She'll get a look at the second. Bobcat's been sitting at 40 for quite a while. In fact, I believe almost this entire period as she gets the second one to fall. Ferguson brings it up for Hyannis. They trail 41-13 to South Loop. Calls out the play, dribbles in, stops at the free throw line, looks for a teammate. Can't find anyone initially, now gets it off into the hands of her teammate Riley Anderson. Back to Ferguson, now Evans up top. Evans goes away from Anderson and had it swiped away. I think Schwartz got her hand on that one. Now Ferguson, nice pass inside to Merrihew, who is fouled in the lane. She'll go to the line.
Nice heads-up play by Faith Ferguson again, who has just been all over this court.
Juliana Merrihew can't get the first one to go. Still a very good-looking shot from the free throw line. Riley Anderson will get some rest for Hyannis as Kylie Madison comes back into the game. Merrihew gets the roll on this one thanks to that nice backspin she puts on her shots and scores one for the Longhorns. Schwartz into the front court, off to Pandorf. Now in the corner, it's Recoy. Recoy skips it over to Reif, who comes down with a high pass. Now Pandorf far side, can't get the three to go. Evans pulls away the rebound for Hyannis. And we're off and running. Longhorns in the half court. Evans holds up. Now gets it over on the far side. They're trying to get it inside to Merrihew, and it's poked away by Reif. Will stay here. She was giving Kylie Madison all sorts of trouble on the far side there. Ferguson with it on the far sideline. 4:36 to go here, fourth quarter. Longhorns get it into Evans, squares up. Lauren Johnson takes a poke at it. Can't come away with it. Evans called for the charge. Might have thrown that arm out there a little bit too much to clear some space for the shot. And that's going to go ahead and send her to the bench.
Yep.
I think
that's her fifth.
That's her fifth, yeah. Fouled out of the game. She found herself in a lot of plays on this court here tonight, though. She was always around that rebound and always worked her way in on offense.
She was mixing it up.
Reif over to Johnson. Johnson over to Stahlbomber. Tracks it down after it goes off her fingertips. They work it around. Lauren Johnson wants to go inside. Now pulls the three. Left it short. It rolls into the hands of Ferguson on the weak side, who had a nice box out there on Stahlbomber. Ferguson, crossover, attacks, fouled, going into the double team of South Loop. Faith Ferguson, kind of the motor behind this Longhorns team. She brings the ball up almost every time. Haven't seen her go to the bench all that much. I don't know that she's left the game, has she? I don't think we've called her to there. She gets the first one to fall. We'll get a look at the second here. Can't get it to fall and follow this first one. Rebound pulled out of there by South Loop's Aubrey Burkle, who's into the game. Schwartz into the front court. Hands it off. Lauren Johnson. Johnson over to Reif. 3:40 to go in the contest. Johnson, now Schwartz. 3 main ball handlers still in there for South Loop. They get it down to Stahlbomber. Nice looking offense. The weak side rebounds pulled out of there on the miss from Stahlbomber. Johnson puts it up and in for South Loop. Ferguson brings it up. Speaks out the play, now attacks. Left alone for 3, can't get it to fall. Rebound by Lauren Johnson, comes out of there with a head full of steam into the front court, now holds up. Off to Schwartz. Back to Johnson, near side wing. 3 to go here, fourth quarter. Schwartz over to Reif, now far side Johnson. They get it inside, and being fouled before she could put up a shot was Maggie Burkle. Not in the bonus yet are the Bobcats, so they'll head to the baseline. Coming in for Hyannis is Reagan Anderson. Also in for South Loop comes Maggie Burkle. And also in is Greeley Horupik. And on the inbounds play, nice looking shot up and inside. Didn't catch who that was, Grant.
That was Maggie Burkle.
Okay, Maggie. Quick shot on the inside, didn't even catch who put it up. Now Hyannis back in the half court. Work it over near side, Riley Anderson. Now they put it near side to Reagan Anderson. Reagan drives in, tries to find the angle. Weak side rebound, pulled out of there and put back up by Rath. She couldn't get it to fall. Now Hyannis is going to get another look at it as they track down another offensive rebound. Anderson wants 3, left it short. Rebound pulled out of there by Reif.
She was left all alone up there, and I like that look. It wasn't necessarily uncontested, but she made it count.
And a timeout is called. 2:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. I believe this might just be for substitution purposes, so we'll keep it right here. Don't forget, coming up next, Grant will have the call of Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley. The Coyotes and the Mavericks going to do battle on this very court. Anselmo-Merna as the 2 seed, earning the right to host here in the quarterfinals of the MNAC. Bobcats in the half court after the quick timeout, and it's turned over into the hands of Faith Ferguson. Faith out and running. Reif tries to recover and does commit the foul. Ferguson will go to the line.
She's just going to be such an asset for this team going forward the rest of the way.
Yeah, Ferguson, a 5'7" freshman, has the ball in her hands a lot for this team. Her first shot at the line falls. Faith goes through the routine again. Can't get the second one to follow the first. Grover comes down with the rebound, puts up the shot on the follow, can't get it to go. Reif pulls down the miss for South Loop. Point guard now for the Bobcats is Rupek. Greeley kicks it over far side. With it there is Bechtold. And they try to get it back to Rupek on the near side, but Ferguson, active hands, gets in front of that one.
Out of nowhere, she covered some ground.
South Loop inbounds on the near sideline. Minute 37 to go in this one. They'll advance to the semifinals. Reif looking inside. Doesn't like what she sees, goes high post instead, but it's picked off by Hyannis' Madison. And Kylie is fouled before she can work it up the court. And Bobcats still only with 5 fouls in this half, so we remain in a no bonus situation.
It's been a physical game, but mostly clean.
It has been, really. Ferguson into the short corner, 15-foot jumper, can't get it to fall. The rebound is tapped out into the hands of Maggie Burkle. Burkle tried to stop at the free throw line, couldn't get that jump stop accomplished. The travel is called. Wouldn't have been surprised, judging by the groans and the look on Coach Brian Hansen's face. He kind of wanted a foul call there, I think.
Mm-hmm. But that's been the trend of the game so far, is they've pretty much let them play for the most part, unless it's been egregious.
Minutes ago, Ferguson fires up a 3, can't get it to fall. Rebound pulled on the weak side by Jaslyn Bechtold. She works it off into the hands of Rupek. Ahead to Reif. Bobcats back in the half court, 40 seconds to go in this contest. Reif drives, cut off in the short corner, kicks it out, Bechtold. Tries to get it back to Reif, but it's poked out. Longhorns doing the right thing, being in those passing lanes here late in this one.
They're not just laying down. I respect that.
The inbounds goes to Reif in the deep corner. Gets off into the hands of Bechtold. Now up top, Rupeck down on the post. Can't get the shot to go as Burkle. And is tracked out of there by Hyannis, who has 20 seconds to work with here before this one is on ice. Ferguson with it. Faith dribbles, shoots. A runner from about 20 feet out. The rebound is pulled down by Abby Rath, who's fouled on the putback attempt with 10.1 left on the clock. Abby Rath with a opportunity to get into the scorebook. Leaves this one just off the front of the rim. Just barely kissed it. Abby goes through her routine again. The lefty totes up the second one. Can't get it to fall. Rebound pulled out of there by Reif. Reif off and running. 7 seconds. Holds up. And hands it off to Bechtold. Back to Reif. Shot blocked by Faith Ferguson. Wow. With 0.4 left on the clock. She doesn't want any more points up on that board. Good defense there. And the Longhorns going to have to play defense for another 0.4 of a second. This one is knocked out of the hands of the Bobcat on the block. Down there for South Loop was Burkle, and Ferguson gets her hands on it again. This one goes final 45-16. South Loop gets the victory, and they will move into the semifinals. That will be played on Thursday at North Platte Community College, games that we will have for you, by the way, on our streaming platforms, as well as KBBN 95.3 FM. We'll take one more break. When we come back, Grant will have a look at the final numbers in this one, and then we'll get you set up for our second contest between Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley. You're listening to KCNI Pure Country, Broken Bow.
Feeds of Callaway is your source for all things ranching. They have what you need as capping comes around, including ear tags, vet supplies, windscreens, go lights, milk replacer, Royal Heat cap warmers, and more. They also carry Powder River and Charter livestock equipment, and their Sweet Pro lick tubs, Fresh Start, and Redmond Salt provide your animals with the outstanding nutrition they need. They carry the top-rated AeroQuip line of chutes and livestock equipment too, behind the Community Center in Callaway, or at 836-2298. Agribest Feeds of Callaway.
Have you heard the buzz? Yeah, it's got to be my neighbor's Beehive.
Beehive?
Yeah, it's that new pivot controller from Beehive Ag.
Cool, what's it do?
Your phone becomes your pivot panel. You can control your pivot, pump, in-gun, and it even has GPS and VRI. Breathe new technology into old pivots.
Really? The subscription must be expensive.
No, there is no subscription fee. Contact Rich Reynolds with Rain Dance Repair at 308-870-4455. That's 870-4455.
If you've ever seen the Milwaukee tool display at Mills Hardware in Arnold, you probably thought it was as big as it could ever be. Well, you better go back and see it again soon, because it's even bigger. The display is now 350 feet long. 3 aisles of Milwaukee tools that lead the industry in durability and performance. Simply put, the selection and knowledge you'll get when you choose Mills Hardware is going to be top-notch. Mills Hardware in Arnold, proud to be the area's premier Milwaukee connection.
Consolidated Companies is a proud sponsor of our student athletes. Everyone wants to get to the events and cheer on their students, but sometimes you just can't. Keeping up to date on all the local sports is hard to do, but Consolidated Superfast Broadband can change that. Find all the latest information on local school and broadcast channel web pages, along with news and weather. For more information, call Consolidated at 1-800-742-7464. Plus, look for them now on Facebook, facebook.com/Consolidated Companies.
BD would love for you to be part of their great team. They offer competitive wages, a team environment, and day one benefits. Some include health, life, dental, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply online at bd.com/careers. You can also attend open interviews the first and third Wednesdays of each month in Broken Bow. BD loves supporting youth sports and the bright student athletes who work hard to compete in every contest. Remember, bd.com/careers to start your journey to being part of their great team.
New location, same great service. A1 Auto Repair is still in Arnold. Excited to get you on the road or keep you there. 110 East 7th, otherwise known as the old John Deere Implement. The former Mills Hardware location. The last building on the south side of Arnold. The first building going north into town. The building south of the Baptist Church. The building on the east just before the Highway 40 bridge. No matter how you describe it, A1 Auto Repair in Arnold invites you to stop by. Say hi soon at their new digs.
Welcome back to Anselmo-Merna High School as our first of two contests has gone final. South Loop getting the victory, the 3 seed over the 6 seed Hyannis of a score of 45-16. South Loop improves to 9-5. Hyannis falls to 3-9 on the season. South Loop advances to the semifinals. Hyannis will fall into that consolation bracket on the bottom of the bracket that I'm sure you folks have seen circulated on the web in some way, shape, or form. Before we call this first game of two quits, here's Grant with a look at your final numbers.
Well, first with your South Loop Bobcats, Taylor Ross led all scorers with 15 total points, only 3 of those coming in the second half, the third and fourth quarters. Abby Stahlbaumer with 5, Bryn Schwartz had 7, Ava Pandorf was held to that 1-3, Lauren Johnson had 2, Haley Recoy had 2, and Josie Reif had 9. Maggie Burkle, 1 touch with 2 points. Now for your Hyannis Longhorns, Faith Ferguson led all scorers on Hyannis with 8, Riley Anderson with 3, Reagan Anderson with 2, and Juliana Merrihew with 3. Hyannis turned the ball over 24 times to South Loop's 21, and South Loop finished the game with about 30 rebounds to Hyannis's 12.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Grant, and congratulations to you on keeping a good book. Was that your first book you've kept in
basketball
broadcast?
book?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing well. If you were able to keep a good book on your first broadcast, trust me. Well, maybe it is an easy thing to do, but Brent and I struggle with keeping a good book.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Your eyes are up and down consistently. So. The two teams are up on the court practicing and getting ready for our next broadcast, which features Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley. Before we close out this broadcast between South Loop and Hyannis, we again want to thank the wonderful sponsors that made it possible. They include Thrivent Financial Agent Scott Harvey, J.R. Meyer Insurance, 4 County Heating and Air, Klang Financial, Callaway District Hospital with Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics, Rocks Underground, Callaway Market, Progressive Fertilizer, Agribest Feeds, Rain Dance Repair, Mills Hardware and Arnold, Consolidated, BD Broken Bow, A1 Auto Repair, First State Insurance, Pinnacle Bank of Arnold, Henry's Callaway Bar, and 4 County Boutique. Thank you as well to those wonderful sponsors you've seen scrolling on your screen on the video broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. This evening. More sponsors will be coming your way in the next contest between Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley. But first, let's hear from a few more of those South Loop and Hyannis sponsors. When we come back, we'll get you set up for AM and Sandhills Valley basketball action in the MNAC here on KCNI Pure Country.
At First State Insurance of Arnold, they're proud to say that they can offer you choices. Those choices save you money. They can offer you a variety of choices because they are independent agents. First State Insurance is cheering on the Bobcats all the way. Call Becky or Taylor at 848-2522 to set up an appointment with First State Insurance of Arnold. Proud supporters of the South Loop Bobcat coaches and players who work so hard.
There's a place that's shaped by more than county lines and state borders. It's a place we call home, where moments are shared, where communities are strengthened, and life's special memories happen right here. No matter what home is to you, we're the local bank that can help you make the most of it, because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
You've been to them, the bars, taverns, and grills that are exactly like the next. Not at Henry's Callaway Bar. They offer a bar experience unlike any other. Try one of Henry's fresh handcrafted drinks or kick back for a beer with friends. If it's an appetite you're bringing with your thirst, look to their amazing homemade pizzas to fill you up, available to dine in or carry out. Call 308-836-4484. A slice of lime and a good time await you at Henry's Bar in Callaway, the oasis in the middle of Nebraska.
Four County Boutique in Arnold is proud to help support the South Loop Bobcats and all that they do. Four County Boutique is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 until 5 and Saturdays from 10 until 3. You'll find quality clothing as well as products and merchandise made by locals from right there in Arnold. Items like jewelry, soaps, chocolates, and more await you at Four County Boutique. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date with new items. Glad to help cheer on the South Loop Bobcats and proud to sponsor this broadcast. Four County Boutique in Arnold on Main Street.
Welcome back to Anselmo-Merna High School, the home of the Coyotes and the home of the team that is about to host this next game against Sandhills Valley. Anselmo-Merna, they come into this one with a record of 7-6. Sandhills Valley with a record of 7-7. As we get ready for Game 2 on the docket for this evening, we want to thank the wonderful sponsors that have made it possible for you tonight. They include Four County Heating and Air, Thrivent Financial Agent Scott Harvey, BD Broken Bow, Kimbers in Stapleton, Clang Financial, Tri-S Ag of Myrna, Consolidated, Central Nebraska Diesel, Cursive O Cattle, Kristen Electric, Dewey's Implement and Welding in Myrna, The Secret Garden Myrna. Also brought to you by Nebraska State Bank, The Grocery Cart, Custer Federal State Bank, Arrow Seed, Ron's Body and Paint, Team Physical Therapy, Trotter Service, Mead Lumber, Shelter Insurance Agent Brent Custer, A to Z Lawn Pro, Squire Septic Service of Myrna, Geared for Sports, Agland ATV, Bruning Bank, The Garden Center, Sargent Irrigation, and Duda Plumbing. We'll take a break. We'll hear from some of those radio sponsors. When we come back, we'll thank the video sponsors, bringing you our video stream on the Facebook and YouTube pages titled Sandhills Express. Also, want to keep in mind that when it comes to KCNI, we will soon be concluding another day of broadcasting on KCNI 1280 AM, as the KCNI AM transmitter will be shutting off just after 7 p.m. However, KCNI programming is continuing on 96.3 FM from our translator located in Broken Bow, which broadcasts 24 hours a day. You may also listen to KCNI Pure Country online at kcni1280.com and on the free KCNI Pure Country app. KCNI is owned and operated by Custer County Broadcasting Company and remains dedicated to keeping Central Nebraska informed. A commercial break. When we come back, we'll get you more set up for Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley right here on KCNI.
BD would love for you to be part of their great team. They offer competitive wages, a team environment, and day one benefits. Some include health, life, dental, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply online at bd.com/careers. You can also attend open interviews the first and third Wednesdays of each month in Broken Bow. BD loves supporting youth sports and the bright student athletes who work hard to compete in every contest. Remember, bd.com/careers to start your journey to being part of their great team.
This sports broadcast is being brought to you in part by Kimbers, proud Sandhills Valley Maverick supporters. From fuel to food, when you're on the go, turn towards Kimbers on Highway 83, just outside of Stapleton. Pick up a snack to fuel yourself up or pull up to the pumps and get your vehicle ready to hit the road. The next time you're driving down Highway 83 and need a pit stop, make sure you stop by Kimbers. They're happy to help bring you this sports broadcast while cheering on the Sandhills Valley Mavericks.
This is for the Anselmo-Merna community members and alumni. Paid for by Tri-S Ag, supporting the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes.
Consolidated Companies is a proud sponsor of our student athletes. Everyone wants to get to the events and cheer on their students, but sometimes you just can't. Keeping up to date on all the local sports is hard to do, but Consolidated Superfast Broadband can change that. Find all the latest information on local school and broadcast channel web pages, along with news and weather. For more information, call Consolidated at 1-800-742-7464. Plus, look for them now on Facebook, facebook.com/Consolidated Companies.
Central Nebraska Diesel is a proud sponsor of high school sports and the student athletes who work hard each and every day. They're also proud to offer you Rainkey products. When you need performance that you can count on, ask them about Rainkey. Central Nebraska Diesel is happy to bring this action to those who can attend. Enjoy the broadcast, and when you need pivot service from start to finish, call Central Nebraska Diesel at 643-2544. Rainkey, more right than rain.
Brandon and Barb Miller with Cursive O Cattle are proud Anselmo-Merna Coyote supporters. Selecting for superior genetics and raising cattle in a sustainable manner has always been the foundation of Cursive O Cattle. Just like the athletes in the game, their offering of bred heifers and feeder cattle were developed to perform with excellence. Contact them in Myrna, proud supporters of the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes and this broadcast. Brandon and Barb Miller with Cursive O Cattle of Myrna.
Welcome back to Anselmo-Merna High School, site of these two games in front of us. Well, one game now between Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley, about 7.5 minutes away from that one. Welcome in my broadcast partner, the guy who's going to be calling this one for you this evening. Anselmo-Merna coming into this one, Grant, at 7-6. Sandhills Valley at 7-7. The difference between these two teams as of late is that Sandhills Valley is on a 4-game winning streak, and Anselmo-Merna on somewhat of a losing skid, dropping their last 3. Both of these teams wanting to get off to a right-hand start in the MNAC tournament.
And there's going to be no better environment to get the second half of your season or the final third of your season going than this tournament. And Anselmo-Merna is fortunate enough to be able to play this game on their home floor.
That's one of those situations you get into. You've played well enough to this point that you have enough points and your record stands strong enough that you're able to get that number 2 seed and host in front of more of your hometown fans. So Anselmo-Merna looking to break that 3-game losing streak here in the Mid-Nebraska Activities Conference tournament. Their last 3 games have been against pretty formidable opponents, and they had a close game against Central Valley, just falling in that one by 3. They played Sandhills Valley very close, a game we had here at KCNI KBBM. They dropped that one by 10 and came across one of the better D1 teams in the entire state in Sumner Eddyville Miller, losing that one 69-35. For Sandhills Valley, finding some good success. You know the difference between a team that's kind of trying to figure things out and a team that's on the way to figuring some things out is winning those games against teams that have records that indicate you should win the games. And they did just that against Hyannis, Arthur County, Maxwell, and Cody Kilgore on the winning side of all of those games here as of late. Before we hop into this contest, we want to thank the wonderful video sponsors you'll see scrolling across your screen as we get ready for this one. They include Cursive O Cattle, Kristen Electric, Dewey's Implement and Welding in Myrna, The Secret Garden, Consolidated, Custer Public Power District, BD Broken Bow, The Cattleman's Cut, Prairie Eye Care, Grocery Cart, Colligan, Del Modiger and Tim Wright, the Callaway District Hospital with the Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics, Palmer Monument, Meade Lumber, Lines Appliance Broken Bow, Nebraska State Bank, Agland ATV, Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers, Insurance of the Heartland, Central Nebraska Medical Clinic, Broken Bow Livestock, Sandhills Custom Creations, Moline Seed and Fence, and AgriBest Feeds. If you would like to find the video stream, if you have not already, on YouTube or Facebook, just search Sandhills Express. We'll take one more break. When we come back, Grant will have the starting lineups for you, and he'll have the call here on KCNI Pure Country.
We use it every single day. Kristen Electric is ready to help you with your electric projects and underground farm remodels and new construction. If it needs electricity, Kristen Electric can get it there. Call 308-258-4164. They'll figure out a plan to get you on the way to having reliable electricity. For underground, farm, remodels, and new construction. Proud to support the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes by sponsoring this broadcast. Kristen Electric.
Dewey from Dewey's Implement and Welding in Myrna would like to wish all our area athletes good luck as they compete. May you do your best doing what you can with no regrets. When you come to Myrna, check out Dewey's Farm and Feed Mixers, Kelly Ryan Wagons, Highline Bale Processors, Matheson Welding Gases, ATV Weed Sprayers, and Interstate Batteries. Call 308-872-1972 for a demo or stop by 413 3 Center in Myrna.
Some secrets just can't be kept. At the Secret Garden, their store is filled with unique gifts, handmade crafts and antiques, cards, candies, candles, and much more. They now carry Day Spring Devotions as well. Open the first and third Friday and Saturday of each month. Galatians 6, verse 9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. The Secret Garden, outside of Myrna, proud to help sponsor this broadcast of the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes.
We've got spirit, yes we do. We've got spirit, how about you?
Here at Nebraska State Bank, we've got school spirit. Introducing mascot debit cards from Nebraska State Bank. Now you can go to your local NSB branch and request a new debit card for your favorite high school team. The Broken Bow Indians, South Loop Bobcats, or Anselmo-Merna debit cards are available by instant issue. You'll only pay $10, and the entire amount will be passed along to your school. It's a win-win situation, right? Take your school pride to the next level at Nebraska State Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Having a party, celebration, tailgate, or watch party? Then you need to come and see us at the grocery cart. Between our amazing deals and GK Wine and Spirits, we'll help you treat your guests right. Start out with a meat and cheese tray or a Chester's chicken in the deli, or pick up a rack of smoked ribs. For drinks, our aisles at the GK Wine and Spirits are full with savings on your favorites. The deli and GK Wine and Spirits, inside the grocery cart, Broken Bow.
Welcome back to Anselmo-Merna High School. We're about 2 minutes away from the tip here on KCNI between Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley. On paper, record-wise, should be a fun one. And as we get ready for this contest with a look at your starting lineups, here's Grant.
Thank you, Jeremy. Starting off for your Sandhills Valley Mavericks is going to be Satori Kramer, Arena Fetty, Emily Nicholson, Jalen Fowler, and Abigail Nicholson. For the home Anselmo-Merna Coyotes, it's going to be Addison Priest, Carly Bartok, McKenna Miller, Rhiannon Myers, and Shaylin Safranek.
All right, thank you very much, Grant. As we were talking, we have a little bit more familiarity so far this season with Anselmo-Merna. Sandhills Valley, a couple of familiar faces that we've called during games in the past years. It'll be really interesting, as it always is, to see how two teams match up. Looking for big things out of some of the playmakers we are used to hearing of from both of these teams. More specifically, Anselmo-Merna getting a lot of offense from Shaylin Safranek. She's averaging just over 11 points per game. Also, 8.1 rebounds per game, just over 8 rebounds a game for Shaylin. She's got to dominate the boards and get some of those putbacks on offense for Anselmo-Merna, but they'd like to kind of work the ball around, get some other players involved as well.
And I'm sure there's no better opportunity than under the bright lights of the MNAC tournament. You're hosting a game. Get everyone involved. You've got a whole third of the season ahead of you.
8 minutes are up on the clock. The starting lineups are being introduced to the folks here in attendance. We'll take a short, teeny tiny break, and when we come back, Grant will have the call for you right here on KCNI Pure Country, as well as the Sandhills Express Facebook and YouTube pages.
Guaranteed loan programs can make dreams happen. That's why Custer Federal State Bank is passionate about helping you with them. Their SBA lending team can help you navigate the process of launching your business and also guide business owners looking to sell or transition their work to another person. Don't let worrying about the ins and outs of getting started push your dreams aside. Talk to Custer Federal State Bank of Broken Bow and Kearney, member FDIC.
Cattle producers, AeroSeed is your one-stop shop for power fencing needs. AeroSeed has all the supplies, including high tensile wire, posts, insulators, and energizers to build or replace a solar, electric, or battery-operated system. They offer products from Gallagher, the most practical, affordable, and dependable range of animal management systems on the market. Should anything ever go wrong with your Gallagher Energizer, you won't have to send it off somewhere to be repaired. Most often it can be repaired right at AeroSeed. Get your Gallagher power fence and supplies from AeroSeed on North 10th Avenue, Broken Bow.
One thing we definitely desire perfection on is our vehicles. You want something that gets you to where you're going comfortably while looking great. Whether storm damage, deer damage, or insurance claim, Take your ride to Rod's Body and Paint Broken Bow. They're the collision specialist. You should call 308-872-5346. Offering over 42 years of experience, they'll get you back on the road quickly without sacrificing quality. From dings and dents to full replacement and auto glass repair. Rod's Body and Paint, West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Team Physical Therapy is happy to help bring you this broadcast. Did you know that we can treat you right in your home if you are not able to come into our clinic? We provide balance assessments and treatments, education on improving home safety, caregiver education, and evidence-based one-on-one care. These services are available out of all 5 of our locations in Broken Bow, Callaway, Kearney, Burwell, and Gothenburg. Call us to learn more at 872-5111. For Team Physical Therapy, that's 872-5111.
Just before the introductions of the starting lineups, the PA announcer here in Myrna made mention that it is, in fact, the NSAA Officials Appreciation Week. So throughout this evening, Grant and I will do our best to give those officials a pat on the back when we see great officiating happening as well. With the call of this one, here's Grant.
Shaylin Safranek took the tip and had it immediately turned over. It is in the hands of Jalen Fowler, who moves it to the top of the key, whips it wide to Satori Kramer, and it is immediately stolen right there by McKenna Miller, who goes and makes a quick bucket for Anselmo-Merna. They're up 2-0.
McKenna uses her speed often on the offensive and defensive side to make her presence felt.
Fetty to Kramer connection couldn't quite happen there, and that'll be a turnover. It's going to be Coyote basketball. Inbounds now to Rhiannon Myers, who is looking right at the free throw line to Carly Bartok. Can't find anything. To the wing, inside to back out. To the wing, there's Shaylin Safranek, can't find anything. The ball is on the floor, and Rhiannon Myers comes up with it, and it's still Coyote basketball. 3 is off from Addison Priest, but the rebound is still there, recovered by Kramer, and Sandhills Valley is moving from left to right.
Coyotes got a couple of good things in the half court there, just couldn't quite get more shots up after the initial miss.
Kramer's going to dip it wide to Abigail Nicholson, who is searching for something. Passes it back out to Emily Nicholson. Can't find anything quite yet. There's Jalen Fowler, who takes a shot from the wing. No good. And, wow, saved by McKenna Miller, inbounds and turned over. Arena Fetty gets the bucket, and I think we'll be going to the line here.
That was a great job by Arena. Caught the ball and went up with it right away. You always hear people say, go up quick before the defense can recover. That time around, she went up quick with it and caused the defense to foul as she completes the three-point play.
Absolutely gets the and one, and she's 5'10", so she's not going to have a problem getting over a lot of players. Shaylin Safranek inbounds now to Rhiannon Myers, who takes it cross half court. Stops, thought about a 3, dishes it back to Shaylin, who's going to get an easy bucket. It's 4-3 with 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Coyotes are up.
That's the good offense that you want to see working for you early if you're a Coyote fan. That little inside look to Safranek.
Haley Dimmitt now is checked in the game. And she will take the ball. She'll go for 3. That's just off the front of the iron, no good. But Jalen Fowler is there to rebound and make it a 1-point lead for the Mavericks once again. Nice little pass inside for Carly Bartok, and I believe she's going to be fouled.
Yeah, Carly doing a good job putting the ball on the floor quick, dribbling around the defense who is running out at her, and she earns herself a trip to the line. That's going to be the first foul whistled on Emily Nicholson. Each team with just one foul here early on in this one.
She'll knock it down. It's a tie ball game, 5-all with just under 6 minutes to go, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to be subbed in, so we see the same faces for at least a couple possessions. My mistake, it looks like Shelby Layer is now checking into the game, and Emily Nicholson will be checking out for the time being. Lining up at the elbow there. They split. The inbounds pass goes to Abigail Nicholson, who takes it across court. Not quite on the same page. That's going to be a turnover initially meant for Arena Fetty, however, turned over. right in the lane. The 2 goes up, and it is no good from McKenna Miller. Maverick basketball, and they're pushing. There's a movement to the corner, back to the top of the key to Abigail Nicholson, who finds room. Gap was closed awful quick there. Rhiannon Myers with the rebound. And it'll be Bartok into the front court. To the corner, we find Addison Priest. Top of the key, back around. From the elbow, almost poked away. Back out to Bartok. Bartok finds nothing, but there's a travel.
Well, that was just good presence by Sandhills Valley defensively. Sticking their hips in there. Abigail Nicholson also in the area causing that turnover. Jalen Fowler. They just kind of set up a wall, and Carly didn't have anywhere to go, and she shuffled her shoes.
Fowler on the inbound now to Abigail Nicholson. Almost poked away by Miller, but no good, and now they're going to get a little run. Back to Fowler. Fowler searching inside. Nice pass, but it just wasn't found, and that'll be Shaylin Safranek to take it into the front court, who dishes it now to Myers. Goes for it herself, can't quite find it, and it's going to be Maverick basketball. Rebound by Emily Nicholson, and it looks like we've got another foul.
I think they called a travel there on Nicholson. Switched the pivot feet down there in the lane. Kind of just trying to look for a teammate to work into the front court and the half court offense, but just kind of switched feet.
4.5 left. It's 6-5 still. Coyotes are up. And the play now to Miller. She looks for something at the top of the key, spreads it to the wing, inside to Safranek, who goes up with it, and not quite.
But she is fouled.
She will go to the line for a pair.
That's going to be the second one whistled on Emily Nicholson here early in this one. She has both of the Mavericks fouls.
And that one's off the back of the iron. But she'll get another go at it. Sometimes knocking down that first free throw is the hardest. That one goes right through the net. Didn't even bother that old rim. Inbounds now. Little movement from Haley Dimmitt, who gets to the wing, the right wing. Pass out to Shelby Layer, who dishes it back to Abigail Nicholson. Not a whole lot of luck getting the ball inside. That's going to be a travel on Dimmitt.
Yeah, Haley just kind of trying to keep her eyes up down on the block when driving with it. And when she went to stop, couldn't quite get the jump stop accomplished.
There's a pass to the top of the key. Almost got away from Miller there, but she wrangles it in to Safranek inside. 3-on-1 and manages to save the ball, but it's a turnover. Here comes Fowler into the front court for the Mavericks. Up and over for 2, not quite. That's a one-on-one race. That's going to be wrangled by Abigail Nicholson, and it looks like we're going to get a foul.
Oh, they're going to call an over and back here, actually. Yeah, and that's just kind of one of those unfortunate turnovers of types. Just kind of hard to recover a ball right around the timeline like that without your momentum carrying you into the front court.
Lily Thornton now, freshman, checking into the game, putting on a little bit of a dribble show. To the wing for Miller. Off the mark, no good. It's going to be a push. Maverick basketball, 7-5 here with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Coyotes are up.
They're going to get Coleman on this one. Shaylee getting caught in the back of her opponent.
Fowler to inbound the ball. She'll find, didn't quite get that number. Arena Fetty, however, takes it across midcourt. Back to Fowler. He's looking for something. Oh, and that's unfortunate. Off the hands of Dimmitt. And that'll be a turnover at midcourt. Coyote basketball.
Sandhills Valley has been able to get some good shots up. All 5 of their points have come on really good offensive sets. It's getting into those offensive sets and those set plays is where they're kind of struggling.
Little pass inside from Shaylee Coleman, who had checked into the game, was poked away. Fowler takes it to the front court. Maverick basketball. We'll see what they can set up. Dribbling around. Satori Kramer. Kramer goes back to Haley Dimmitt. Stingy defense here. Not a whole lot of places to go, and that's going to be a turnover. Shaylin Safranek looks to move, sees the vision down court to Coleman. 3 is up by Lily Thornton, the freshman. No good. Out of bounds. It's going to be Maverick basketball.
AM kind of pressing a little bit on the offensive side. Kind of helter-skelter with about every single pass, whether it's in transition or in the half court. I know the Coach Kirchman is going to want more sure passes to the open teammate from his players.
Oh, look at that. And that's going to be Kelsey Amos. Just took that ball away and is fouled on her way up.
Be Carly Bartok going to the line here for AM. Nice looking steal.
Looks at the rim. It's deadly silent here in the Merna gym.
Yeah, don't be afraid to talk loud during free throws. It's just part of being a radio announcer. You'll learn. It's okay to be the loudest guy in the room when one person's really trying to concentrate.
Bartok knocks down the first, and here is part 2, just as good as the first.
That foul, by the way, on Satori Kramer, that was her first. The other 2 fouls for the Mavs belongs to Nicholson.
And it looks like Kramer will be checking out of the game in favor of Brooklyn Fisher. Oh my gosh. Fetty inbounded the ball. It was stolen away, and Shelby Layer gets called for... No, that was not Shelby Layer. I'm sorry. That would have been Lily Thornton, I believe, called for that foul.
This is Rhiannon Myers called for that foul.
Rhiannon Myers called for that foul. Abigail Nicholson brings the ball across. Fetty dishes it back. There's Dimmitt with the ball at the top of the key, sending it around to Fowler. Fowler playing a lot of distance now, not really going for the bucket just yet, trying to pick apart that defense. There's Fowler with the shot from the wing. It goes. That's 2.
Nice looking shot from about 15. Jalen just kind of stabbed her foot out there and went right up with it.
3-on-1. Safranek was covered, and she's just going to turn it over. Not a whole lot to do. There's Dimmitt dribbling across mid-court, and Thornton almost poked that ball away. Maverick basketball, they are down 2 with just under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Abigail Nicholson to Fowler, who goes up again with it. That's going to be a block. She gets her own rebound.
A good job by McKenna. Closed a lot of space quickly with that speed of hers we've referenced so far in this one. Sandhills Valley turns it over, but Miller, that speed, it can do a lot of great things for you on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, a little bit too much pepper on that pass from Dimmitt, which will turn the ball over. It's going to be Riley Schmidt to inbound it. Thornton dribbles it across. Down to the wing, down to the corner. In goes Bartok. Ooh, off the hands of McKenna Miller. Thornton goes up with the shot. No good. Fetty came down with it and turns it over. Still Coyote basketball. Safranek goes up, and that's 2. 11-7 now. The Coyotes are up with a minute to go in this first quarter. Abigail Nicholson brings it across. Nice little spin move there to create some space in the lane. Poked out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Mavericks here with 59.5 seconds remaining.
In the first quarter.
In the first quarter.
Remember that, too. If you had someone just tuning in right now, holy cow, 11-7 game in the fourth.
That's going to be a bucket from
Nicholson, Abigail.
Abigail Nicholson.
Yeah, got a good screen down there on the far side of the block from a couple of different Mavericks. Open things up for her. Now on the other end, Jalen Fowler going to be committing the foul for Sandhills Valley. That's just their 4th.
Miller to inbound over the top and can't quite find her target. That's going to be Dimmitt with an easy layup. It'll go and 1.
Well, Sandhills Valley kind of seizing the momentum here. Dimmitt with the speed. They turn the turnover into points on the other end very quickly. She wants to seize one more point. Good offense in the transition game here from the Mavericks.
Chance to go down 1 with under 41 seconds to go in the first quarter. Shot is up, it is off the mark, and it's contested in the corner. Who is it out on? It's going to be Coyote basketball. Shaylin Safranek to inbound the ball. Finds Miller despite the coverage, almost turns it over. Stops, slows it down, back to Safranek, who looks to the wing, inside, off. It's going to be off a Maverick. It'll stay with Anselmo-Merna with just under 30 seconds to play in this first quarter.
Well, if you're the Coyotes, this is a good opportunity to get some points up on the board, maybe get one shot up.
It's going to be a foul. Someone was pushed from the back. It looks like Miller was pushed from behind as she went up for that shot. She will be going to the line for 2. Pretty nice situation.
They're going to get, let's see, Kelsey Amos on this one for Sandhills Valley as Miller can't get the first one to fall. Just her first, Amos's.
And here's the second free throw. That's going to fall. 12-11, 25.1. Fowler inbounds to Abigail Nicholson, who is going to take it across mid-court. Dishes it out to Dimmitt, who thought about it, but the coverage was just there. A nice steal from Bartok. She's going to go all the way. Can't quite finish. Fowler looks to push on the other side. Got some options, some numbers. Wow, Abigail Nicholson can't quite finish either. And that's going to be the end of your first quarter. Your score, the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes 12 and the Sandhills Valley Mavericks 11. What a quarter.
Yeah, great quarter, and we'll head to the second as they put 8 minutes up on the clock. We'll take a moment to hear from some of our sponsors here on KCNI Pure Country.
You're cheering on during this broadcast, practice and study in order to get their competition and schoolwork done right. At Trotter Service, they do the same, except with your vehicle repairs. Whether you need a new battery, brake work, and alignment, tires, wheels, or an overhaul, trust their auto repair specialists to tackle the job. Don't forget bulk oil and fuel delivery and on-the-farm tire truck service too. Proud to help bring you this broadcast, Trotter Service in Broken Bow.
Thank you to another one of our sponsors, 4 County Heating and Air, bringing you tonight's coverage. Owners Brian Hogg and Austin Cox serve the area with a combined 20 years of experience in the HVAC industry. They provide free estimates and 24-hour service. They'll be there for you when the cold weather hits, which it already certainly has, and when the warm weather comes around the corner as well. Call 4 County Heating and Air in Broken Bow, 872-2258. Thank you to 4 County Heating and Air for bringing you tonight's broadcast.
Miller, Myers, Safranek, and looks like, oh my. Nicholson goes up again. Similar looking shot to what ended the quarter. Couldn't quite get it, but she will wind up at the line for 2.
Well, Rhiannon was in the right spot defensively for AM, but just got caught lowering her arm a little bit, and she picks up her second foul.
Just off the mark. Can't quite get the first free throw to fall, but she'll have another chance at it right here. Bounces a couple of times. Shot is up. That one goes. 12 all. Here's going to be Myers dribbling. Bartok's got the ball at the free throw line. Dishes it around to the wing to Miller. Makes a move out to the 3 to Safranek, who puts it up. No dice. It's going to be out of bounds on Sandhills Valley. However, it will remain Anselmo-Merna.
Yeah, Satori got just a fingernail on that one as it cruised out of bounds.
Addison Priest now inbounds the ball. Safranek right underneath. Can't get it to fall, but she should be going to the line here. Nice. Pick up a foul.
They're going to get Shelby Layer on this one. Just her first. Sandhills Valley kind of spreading the fouls around. Just Nicholson has 2.
Safranek's first free throw is up, and it goes right through. That's a lead for Anselmo-Merna, 13-12 in the first 21 seconds of this quarter, the second. Here comes the sequel. It's up. Can't quite get it to fall, but a rebound sets up McKenna Miller for a three that does not go. She gets the ball back at the top of the key, drives, nice little move, can't quite finish. It's going to be out of bounds on AM. Sandhills Valley basketball.
Well, I like McKenna's idea to go for the drive after the three-point shot was no good. She got an opportunity at both kinds of shots, inside and outside there. The Euro step gave her a good opening inside, just couldn't get it to finish.
Emily Nicholson and Haley Dimmitt checking in now for Sandhills Valley. Probably put some speed on the floor for these Mavericks right now. Jalen Fowler takes it across midcourt. Bartok sticking to her like glue defensively. The shot's up. It's good. Nice looking bucket. What vision. It's going to be Miller dishing the ball out. Safranek saves it from going out of bounds. Back to Miller, who drives a little bit. Oh, to the wing. A wide open Lily Thornton can't knock it down from three. Still AM basketball. They get the rebound. Safranek right under the bucket is going to get two. And they don't come easier than that.
She's got 8 in the game.
Fowler dishes it into Dimmitt, who finds someone on the corner. That's going to be Kelsey Amos, who has checked into the game. Dimmitt at the top of the key, who plays it around to the wing. Back to Dimmitt. Fowler's got it. They're just playing around the wing. Inside to Shelby Layer, who plays it out. Emily Nicholson puts up a shot, and it does not go. Fowler's got it again in the corner. She puts up a three. It's off. Nothing happening there. And Addison Priest comes down with the rebound and plays it with speed into the front court. Wide open three from Miller. No, off the iron, and it's going to be rebound by Sandhills Valley. Almost taken away. We're going to have, looks like a foul. 6 minutes, 5 seconds left before halftime. It's 15-14, Anselmo-Merna over Sandhills Valley so far. Inbounding the ball will be Abigail Nicholson, who finds Dimmitt and presses on. Back to Nicholson. Dribbles past Addison Priest. Nope, she's sticking with him. Arena Fetty gets inside with momentum. A little too strong. There's going to be a jump ball. It looks like the possession arrow is going to keep it with AM. I'm sorry, I mean Sandhills Valley. My mistake. Dimmitt wide open. She's got a distant two on the way, and it's not going to fall. That'll be Miller with the rebound, who plays it forward to Addison Priest, top of the key. That's Myers, who can't quite find the three. Good look, though. A lot of pace, a lot of tempo these Coyotes are playing with right now. Looks like we've got ball's coming back to the other end, and Sandhills Valley is going to be shooting a pair.
Yep, this is going to be a foul on Shaylee Coleman. That'll be her second. And because it is the 7th foul on the Coyotes, the Mavericks are going to enjoy a little over 5.5 minutes of bonus time here as we end the first half, as she knocks home the first to earn a second, does Shelby Layer.
Shots at free points are always nice. Here comes the second. That one won't go, but Fetty's got it. Another whistle. She traveled. Miller's going to inbound the ball now to Myers. Slows it down, takes it across the court. Top of the key, it's McKenna Miller. Plays it out to Shaylee Coleman. Coleman up top to Addison Priest, who looks for something. There's Myers. Nothing from the wing. Almost gets tangled up there. Miller dishes it inside to Safranek, who has it taken away, and it's going to stay with AM for the time being. 5 minutes and 15 seconds left before the end of the first half, and we are knotted at 15 apiece. Addison Priest gets the high inbound look. She considers, travels.
Yeah, she wanted to go inside, but as she stepped with her left foot to go that way, just drug her toe on her pivot foot, which was her right.
Oh my gosh, a wide open Abigail Nicholson gets the bucket and one. What a little nifty move. Caught her running, nobody picked her up, and she was halfway home by the time anyone saw the ball.
Well, that's one of those plays where Sandhills Valley used their savvy, inbounding it here on the near sideline on their opponent's side of the floor, and they just cut someone to the basket on the far side, and they didn't have any Coyotes on that side to have to worry about.
Nicholson with the and one attempt, and it goes. So we're looking at a 3-point lead, 18-15 Mavericks with 5 minutes to play. This will be Miller taking it into the front court, who plays it wide to Myers, inside to Priest, who can't knock it down. That's going to be a Sandhills Valley rebound. Fowler is going to move the ball with pace, looking for something on the wing. She goes for it herself over double coverage and can't find it. Myers comes down with the rebound. Coyote basketball. Now Myers is pushing. She plays it inside. Nice little pass. Bartok was waiting for it, and that's two. It's a 1-point game with 4 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the half. 18-17 now. Abigail Nicholson plays the ball wide, ends up in the hands of Fetty, that gets back to Shelby Layer, who plays it back to Nicholson. Nicholson to Fowler. Playing a lot of outside, trying to pick apart this AM defense a little bit. Back to the wing, it's Abigail Nicholson, who puts up a three, no good. Safranek with the rebound, and here come the Coyotes once more. It's going to be up to Miller. Miller inside, nobody home except a bunch of black jerseys, and the Mavericks are back on the move. It's going to be Fowler in the front court corner. She's got space now. That's going to be a push.
Yeah, Carly didn't have her eyes up the floor, and that's one of those situations where her teammates need to yell out screen, because she absolutely smoked into the side of Emily Nicholson. Nicholson went down on the ground, but she had the right to that space. She set up camp and was setting that screen, and Bartok didn't see it coming, laid her out. One of the other Coyotes on the floor needs to yell out screen to let her know. I know she would appreciate it, because she's got to be feeling that one a bit.
Yeah, that was not pretty. Emily Nicholson knocks down the first free throw, 19-17. Under 4 to play. Knocks down the second. It's again a 3-point lead for the Mavericks, 20-17. Safranek takes the ball into the front court, top of the key, looks for something. There's Myers. Finds it down to Lily Thornton. Plays it back. Inside goes Bartok, and there's a bucket. Nice little move there. Cuts between 3 defenders to make it happen. Nicholson into the front court now. Sweet little spin to get out of what is some pretty stingy coverage. Fowler, top of the key, dribble, dribble, dribble. Dimmitt, long pass, just gets there. Nicholson again, steps. Ooh, a little push. What are we going to have? A foul's called.
Foul's kind of adding up here on Anselmo-Merna now. That's going to be the third on Rhiannon Myers. She's the second Coyote to pick up her third. She joins Shaylee Coleman in that category. And again, sends another Maverick to the line. So far this evening, Abigail Nicholson is 2 of 3. She makes it 3 of 4.
She's building a little bit of confidence. This isn't the first time we've seen her at the line, of course. She's been knocking them down. That one's in too. 22-19, the Mavericks are up with just under 3.5 to go in the first half. Miller brings it across. Miller to Safranek. Safranek out to Riley Schmidt, who plays it back to Miller. No good. And that's going to be a Fowler rebound, but it's contested. She finds a way out of it. And it's Nicholson going again once more. Oh, that's going to be a travel. Couldn't quite slow down enough. Kind of jumped a little bit.
Good job by Riley Schmidt being in front defensively, causing the awkward pickup of the basketball. Her opponent didn't know if she wanted to pass it or shoot it or just kind of stop and assess the situation. That's usually the cause of travels like that one.
Thornton plays the ball in, gets it back at the wing. Inside, nothing happening. Riley Schmidt plays it out to Thornton, and there's going to be a little bit of a reach, it looks like.
I think they're going to get Shelby Layer on this one for her second, and it is, in fact, on her. Shelby going for the poke out, sensing that Anselmo-Merna was just having a little bit of trouble controlling the ball. That's when you can take advantage and get some turnovers. Couldn't find it that time, though.
Shelby Layer comes down with the rebound after the missed free throw. 22-19, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the half. Fetty's got it on the corner. Nice takeaway. I have no idea how Miller saved that ball, but she did. And another save, but it is right into the hands, unfortunately, in the corner of Jalen Fowler, who's going to take it into the front court with pace, plays it out. Back to Fetty to Dimmitt, back to Fowler at the top of the key. Oh, a little push off, creates a little space. No harm, no foul. Arena Fetty goes up with the ball. 5-10, can't quite get it to go. Miller is pushing. Chance to beat Fowler one-on-one in the lane. It's not going to happen, but she does draw the foul and will go to the line with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left, down 3.
Well, I like the aggressiveness here by Miller. Had an opportunity in a 1-on-2 situation to hold up and wait for her teammates, but she knows she's got that gas pedal that she can push down further than most opponents. She did so there, essentially made it a 1-on-1 situation, blowing past one defender and forced the foul. They got Dimmitt on that one, by the way, just her first.
And she's going to hit at least one of them. It is 22-20. Mavericks are up with, we just hit the 2-minute mark. Oh no, a turnover. There's a carry.
Sandhills Valley, when they get into their offense, they're doing really good things. Obviously have the 22-20 lead here in the first half, but they are turning the ball over at a significantly higher pace than the Coyotes on the other side. Want to thank Clang Financial for bringing you this broadcast. Your friends at Clang Financial are honored to help with any of your health and life insurance questions, as well as any retirement planning needs you may have. You can reach them at 872-6810. Clang Financial is located in downtown Broken Bow, 940 South D Street. Thank you to Clang Financial for bringing you this sports broadcast.
It's been a heck of a broadcast so far, I think. A lot of fun.
Do have one score to turn over to you folks. It's been a while since we received it. Haven't had a moment to fit it in, but on the other side of the girls' MNAC bracket, Twin Loop getting the victory over Mullen, 41-35 in a tight contest over there. So as far as the girls' bracket goes, they are going to await the winner of the Sandhills, Thetford, and Arthur game, which I'm sure is happening right at this moment on our sister station, KBBN.
MNAC basketball. Riley Schmidt inbounds it to Thornton, the freshman, who's going to take it cross midcourt. Miller's got the ball. She holds. A little bit of pressure. Long pass out to Riley, who finds, almost found Safranek right in the lane for an easy 2, but it just was not quite there. There's going to be Dimmitt, who comes away with it and plays it to Nicholson on the wing. Long pass to Shelby Lair. Dimmitt over the wing to Nicholson. Nicholson dribbles into the lane, up with it, not falling. Ball's loose, and that's going to be Lair coming down with it again. They're going to reset and go. Poked away. Possession stays with the Mavericks. And a travel by Dimmitt.
Well, Anselmo-Merna fortunate to come away with their opponent not scoring anything on that trip, because a couple of moves got Sandhills Valley a good look at the rim, and also their offensive rebounding has really been helping out things as far as the Mavericks go. Anselmo-Merna allowing way too many second opportunities.
Wow, good read by Fowler. Saw the pass telegraphed and took it away. Almost take it to the rim. Fetty goes up with it after almost turning it over, and no bucket. We're going to get another travel.
Yeah, and that's a really good call by the official. Arena Fetty came down with the ball. There was a hand on the ball when she was going back up with it, but she only had 1 foot on the ground, and she chopped it on the pine before going up.
Thornton to Miller, who brings it across midcourt. Thornton sets the pick. Safranek down low, goes up with it, and can't quite find it. We're going to get another whistle here. It's going to be a push-off. And that will send Safranek to the line with an opportunity to tie it up with under 51 seconds to go here before the half.
They're going to get Jalen Fowler on this one. This is when things really come to a grind in these games, when both teams end up in that bonus or double bonus situation as Safranek knocks home the first. This is when things become a grind. Every single foul is a stoppage of play. It's hard to get into your offense or your defense. You just got to find a way out of it these final 50 seconds.
Safranek knocks them both down, and we are tied with 50 seconds to play in this first half, 22 all. Nicholson dribbles, it's off her foot, and that is a turnover. It's going to be Anselmo-Merna basketball with 43.9 to play in the first half and an opportunity to take a lead, which they haven't had for a while. Inbound to McKenna Miller, who crosses midcourt. Safranek sets the pick, can't quite get around it. There's a pass inside to Bartok, nothing happening. It is a travel.
Yeah, those are sometimes the ones that hurt more, are the ones that you get caught doing. Bartok kind of with that facial expression of, dang it, I knew it. I just was hoping the whistle wasn't going to come.
Yeah. Fowler gets a hold of the ball, dribbles, off to Nicholson, who is triple covered. Top of the wing, back to Fetty. It was tipped away, and Satori Kramer is in the corner to wrangle that one. Back to Nicholson, who plays it into the corner again to Kramer. Kramer holds, dribbles. One-on-one against Safranek in the lane, not happening. Nicholson puts up a three, it's off. And it's tangled. Safranek is going to, in the air. Who's going to come down with it? End of the half, nothing happened. 22-all is our score going into halftime. This has been quite a half.
It certainly has. They'll put the halftime time up on the board and start counting it down. We'll take a break and hear from some of our wonderful sponsors. When we come back, we'll give you a look at the halftime numbers. Again, Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley all knotted up at 22 apiece here on KCNI.
The chilly season is here. No need to be wearing a stocking hat inside. Talk to them at Mead Lumber in Broken Bow and get your home's insulation upgraded. Not only will you keep the cold outside in the winter, you'll also have a more efficient, clean, and healthy home. At Mead Lumber, they do their very best to accommodate you with information on your project. Check out the awesome resources they offer at meadlumber.com as well. Mead Lumber in Broken Bow. Visit them today on East Highway 2.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Brent Custer.
A to Z Lawn Pro is moving, but don't worry. They'll continue to offer their great services such as fertilizer, weed, and bare ground programs. Plus, they'll help you with grass seedings during the spring and fall seasons. Their new shop will be at their house. The address is 2056 North 9th Avenue. A handy payment drop box will be out front. Their phone number's changing too. It's now 308-870-1762. A couple of changes, but the same great service from A to Z Lawn Pro.
Septic emergencies are right up there on the list of worst emergencies to have.
Absolutely.
The next time you're facing one, give Squire's Septic Service a call. 870-0717. He's ready to take your call 24 hours a day.
Absolutely.
His sewer camera can find problems fast to save you money. Plus, he can clear drains with Roto-Rooter or Jetter. Oh, and Gary has Porta units too. Squire's Septic Service of Myrna. 870-0717. Don't wait to call until it's too late.
Absolutely not.
Geared for Sports in Broken Bow is all about gearing you up for sports. Whether it's for participating or for cheering from the stands, they have it. Continuing this week is their semi-annual show sale. All regular priced shoes are marked at 20% off. So head through their door on west side of the square and bring your feet to do some test fitting. Geared for Sports, open Monday to Friday 10 to 6 and Saturdays 10 to 4. Get your gear at Geared for Sports in Broken Bow.
All knotted up here at 22 apiece at halftime at Myrna. It is the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes 22 and the Sandhills Valley Mavericks 22. To tell us a little bit about how we got there on this journey, here's Jeremy Shipe.
All right, thank you very much, Grant. We'll first take a look at the visiting Sandhills Valley Mavs. They were led in scoring by Abigail Nicholson, doing all but 2 points of her scoring there in the second quarter. She also knocked home 4 of 5 from the free throw line for her 8 points. 6 points for Jalen Fowler, 3 points for Arena Fetty, 2 points apiece for Emily Nicholson and Haley Dimmitt, and 1 point from the free throw line by Shelby Laher. As a team, Sandhills Valley knocking home 8 of their 9 free throws, and I'm already seeing that that might be an incorrect number. I missed 1 free throw in there, so that would be 8 of 10 from the free throw line for Sandhills Valley there in the first half. For Anselmo-Merna, they were led in scoring by Shaylin Safranek, had 10 points. She knocked home 4 of those 10 points from the free throw line. Right behind her was Carly Bartok with 8 of her own, 4 points for McKenna Miller, and Lily Thornton with 1 miss from the free throw line. Couldn't get it to go, but had some very good looks from the field for the Lady Coyotes. As far as free throws go for AM, they were 10 of 13 from the line. Again, all knotted up at 22 apiece. Wasn't keeping track of rebounding numbers. I would guess that those were slightly in favor of Sandhills Valley if I were to make a rough estimate. As far as turnovers go, Sandhills Valley committing more, but they're having good success on those offensive possessions. They're able to get into the lane and put some shots up against their opponent, the Coyotes. So all of that aside, we're at 22 apiece, and we've got a whole new basketball game ahead of us in the second half, Grant.
Yeah, 0-0, and we've just got a little bit less time to work with. It should be a rockin' second half.
It'll be a fun time, and as we are sitting at halftime, we want to thank another one of our sponsors. That is Thrivent Financial Agent Scott Harvey. Named one of the world's most ethical companies for the 10th year in a row is Thrivent Financial. They believe in serving their clients with excellence and integrity. Thrivent helps clients achieve financial clarity so they can live lives with meaning and gratitude. Call 308-872-2511 to learn how Scott can help you reach your goals. Thank you to Scott Harvey, your local Thrivent Financial representative, for bringing you this basketball action. We'll step away. When we come back, we'll have the second half between Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley right here on KCNI Pure Country, as well as the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages.
Agland ATV would like to acknowledge all the local athletes and coaches from our area. We are proud of the athletes for the sportsmanship, hard work, and dedication that they put into each season. Agland ATV knows all about working hard and playing hard, just like a Polaris. Best of luck to all the local teams from Agland ATV, West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
ATVs can be hazardous to operate. Polaris adult models are for riders age 16 and older. Always wear a helmet and be sure to take a training course. Polaris machines are not intended for on-road use.
As you head out the door to support your favorite team and athlete, don't forget to take Bruning Bank with you. With our free mobile banking app, you can handle your daily banking needs from anywhere, even the bleachers. Check your balance, monitor transactions, deposit checks, and send and receive funds to family and friends with Zelle. Learn more at BruningBank.com. Bruning Bank is a proud sponsor of area athletics and wishes all students a safe and successful season. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Anytime is a good time to buy plants because of indoor plants. The Garden Center has some rare and exciting indoor plants you need to lay eyes on. They're priced right and they're rare. Some might even call them unusual. They will satisfy your need for something new and different. They have the potting soil, creative and stylish pots, and plant displays you need too. Closed Sunday and Monday, open Tuesday to Friday 10 to 5:30 and Saturday 10 to 2. Open year-round for you, the Garden Center in Broken Bow.
Sargent Irrigation may be known worldwide, but their roots are right here in central Nebraska, something they are very proud of. They hire right here in the heartland and know their success is due to those quality employees. As a way of showing support for the community, Sargent Irrigation sponsors high school sports broadcasts so those unable to attend can follow the action. Enjoy the broadcast, sponsored in part by Sargent Irrigation in Broken Bow.
When it comes to plumbing, Scott and Colton with Duda Plumbing are proud to be your one-stop plumbing shop. They do septic pumping. Trust them, you do not want to put it off. Contact them for everything from new construction to remodels, service and drain cleaning to septic installations and sewer camera inspections. Scott and Colton are proud to support the area's student athletes by bringing you this broadcast. Contact Duda Plumbing, where they do the plumbing.
BD would love for you to be part of their great team. They offer competitive wages, a team environment, and day one benefits. Some include health, life, dental, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply online at bd.com/careers. You can also attend open interviews the first and third Wednesdays of each month in Broken Bow. BD loves supporting youth sports and the bright student athletes who work hard to compete in every contest. Remember, bd.com/careers to start your journey to being part of their great team.
And we are back for the start of the second half between Anselmo-Merna and Sandhills Valley, both knotted up at 22 here. Jeremy, what's going to happen to break this deadlock?
Well, I think Anselmo-Merna, they've done a good job of getting Shaylin Safranek involved. I think she's got to continue to be a pivotal point of their offense. What Anselmo-Merna needs to do is they need to just kind of calm their jitters a little bit. They've got to figure a couple of things out in the half court and be able to give her those opportunities inside. On the flip side of that, Sandhills Valley is doing the right things defensively. They're often putting a defender in front of Safranek and behind her, making those entry passes tough. If you're Anselmo-Merna, you can't force it down there. If it's not there initially, swing the ball around, try to get her on the opposite block, or someone else find an open shot and put it up. I'm sure that Coach Kirchman is encouraging Shaylin's teammates to put the ball up if Shaylin is not immediately available, or work it around to the other side, favor ball security, and get another good look offensively. For Sandhills Valley, really like the things that they're doing when they're able to settle down in the half court, and I really like the turnovers that they are forcing against Anselmo-Merna. More often than not, they're capitalizing on them.
Safranek's going to inbound the ball now to Myers, who's going to take it into the front court. Dribbles down to the near corner. Looks and finds Miller on the wing. Back to Priest. Priest, a long pass. Back to Miller, who's going to put up a shot, and it will not go. However, Myers is coming down with the rebound, plays it to Safranek inside against the double coverage, and that's going to be snatched away by Fowler, who's got the Jets turned on. Goes up, almost. Coast to coast, Safranek with the defensive rebound. Coyote basketball. Plays it to Myers, who's going to be wide open underneath. Nice block by Fetty. What do we have? A foul.
Yeah, they're going to get Shaylin Safranek on this one. Just got caught in a bad position after the fast break was unsuccessful by Coyotes. She was just in a bad spot when Sandhills Valley turned around to attack the other direction. That is just her first foul, though.
Fowler inbounded the ball to Abigail Nicholson, who plays it back in the front court. The wing to Fetty. And holding, looking for something, inbounds. Plays inside, out of bounds, and it will stay with Sandhills Valley. I think that rolled off of Myers is what it looked like. Fowler to inbound.
Going to get a little bit of box look here on the inbounds for Sandhills Valley.
A lot of movement. Plays up top to Emily Nicholson. Wing to Fetty, top of the key, back to Emily Nicholson. That's going to be a travel. She didn't know. It looks like if she wanted to pass, shoot, or drive.
Well, and it looked like she wanted to dribble, and based on the smile that she gave and the laugh she's having with her teammates going back, just forgot to put the ball on the floor.
Myers to Miller, not happening. Recovered by Priest, who throws it out of bounds at the baseline. Far baseline, it is going to be Sandhills Valley basketball on the inbound. It looks like it will be Fowler to Abigail Nicholson. Pretty good turnout tonight.
Yeah, good crowd on hand.
Fowler holds, plays it back to Nicholson. Fetty holds, looks for something. Finally, looks like Emily Nicholson gets open for her. Fowler holds at the top of the key, plays to Nicholson on the wing, to Kramer up top. Not a whole lot of movement inside as of yet. Fowler almost gets the ball stolen in a moment of lost concentration. Fetty drives. Nope, another travel.
Well, sorry, Grant, go ahead.
I said Shaylin Safranek did an excellent job of closing that gap, which could have otherwise been pretty disastrous.
Exactly. Shaylin did a good job filling that gap, and Arena had the right idea. She attacked. She went to the bounce there in the short corner, which is a good position to attack most defenses from, but she shuffled those feet because Safranek made that effort to come over there.
Myers in the front court with a little bit of speed. Holds, wide open, will not shoot. That ball is going to be tipped away by Nicholson and tipped away by Safranek down by the baseline. Wide open is going to be Miller, who puts up the shot, no good. Bumped a little bit there, but there's no whistle.
Surprised to not see a foul on that one. You know, McKenna was making the right move, trying to go away from the defense, but the defense still made contact. Easily could have seen a blocking foul called there.
Fowler inbounds it to Abigail Nicholson, who plays it wide to Amos, who is checked into the game. Nicholson holds at the top of the key, dribbles, double team, gets it out to Fowler. Fowler, top of the key, drives a little bit to the elbow. Nicholson with the shot, will not go. Back of the iron, the rebound tip by Priest, And into the open court goes Safranek, but we've got to travel.
Yeah, they're going to catch Lily Thornton on the travel here. Just kind of got caught putting the cart before the horse, trying to pass up the floor. Probably should have taken a dribble or two there. Tried to keep that pivot foot down. Sandhills Valley that last time down, though, they've got to be happy with the success they got on that good shot put up.
Still knotted at 22 apiece with 5.5 minutes to go. Inbounds was to Fowler. Fowler plays to Dimmitt, who holds. Back to Fowler, top of the key. Dribbling around, inside, nothing there. Fetty at the top, back to Fowler. To the wing is Dimmitt. Looking for someone, back to Fowler. Fowler thinks about taking a shot, does, and can't quite find it. Safranek with the rebound, slowing things down into the front court. And she moves the ball to Miller, who's on the wing, plays it to Thornton. Back to the top of the key goes Miller. Holds it. Thornton's got the ball now, just behind the three-point line. She drives. We're going to see a whistle.
Yeah, they're going to call this one on the floor before the shot attempt. That is going to, however, be the third on Shelby Layer for the Mavs.
She's been a pivotal part of this game, so we'll see how aggressive she continues to be. Inbound pass to no one from Priest. That's going to roll harmlessly out of bounds. It's going to be Maverick basketball from the baseline. Still knotted at 22 with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the third.
Yeah, now the question becomes who's going to be the first to score. We can't reach the halfway mark of this quarter without a score. I know both the coaches want to be the first to put a bucket in.
Oh, it's a tip. Kind of a wild pass there to Dimmitt, who recovers nicely, gets a little bit of a drive going, plays it up to Fetty. Fetty inside. That pass is tipped away by Safranek. It's going to be Carly Bartok with a bucket, and the deadlock is broken, 24-22 a.m.
Yep, that answers our question. That was a good job by Safranek, realizing she wasn't going to be able to chase it down, just throws it into the front court for her teammate.
A lot of pressure now, poked away by Thornton. And it's going to be recovered by Shelby Layer. Who's looking for some help to get it across the timeline, and she does. And that'll be a timeout, Sandhills Valley. With 3 minutes and 57 seconds to play. Anselmo-Merna 24, Sandhills Valley 22.
We'll come back for the remainder of the third quarter right here on KCNI. Anselmo-Merna leads it on KCNI Pure Country.
Broadcast is being brought to you in part by Kimbers, proud Sandhills Valley Maverick supporters. From fuel to food, when you're on the go, turn towards Kimbers on Highway 83, just outside of Stapleton. Pick up a snack to fuel yourself up or pull up to the pumps and get your vehicle ready to hit the road. The next time you're driving down Highway 83 and need a pit stop, make sure you stop by Kimbers. They're happy to help bring you this sports broadcast while cheering on the Sandhills Valley Mavericks.
We are back live, 24-22, Anselmo-Merna over Sandhills Valley for the time being, with under 4 to play in the third. An inbounds pass from Fowler. Sandhills Valley basketball. That's going to be Nicholson tying it up with a pretty nice little drive. McKenna Miller takes it across all the way and almost scores. And we got a tie-up. Looks like it's going to be a jump ball.
You know how it works. We go almost 4 minutes without anybody scoring, and then we just about had back-to-back scores right there on some nice drives inside. Down here on this end, though, Abigail Nicholson, that was a very patient drive. It wasn't the fastest one in the world. She just kind of held up and gave a look at the defense, asked herself, what are they going to give me, and she took it.
Fetty, amazing snag, avoids the steal, gets the ball, makes the drive. Right underneath the hoop, doesn't get easier than that, and a pass to Safranek inside. She says, me too. It's 26 all.
Well,
nice,
I don't know.
Moves down low.
I don't know what happened in that last time out for both of these teams, but they seem to have figured out the scoring.
Yeah. Ooh, Fowler almost bobbles the ball a little bit. She still drives, finds no one on the inside, didn't quite pick up the coverage. Nicholson, triple team. Fetty is right there. We're going to have a whistle. It is a travel again.
Well, they're really doing a good job of calling these travels tight on both ways. I wouldn't be surprised in a lot of game situations with other officiating crews to not see that one called. But they're calling it that way both ways. She just put her foot down before putting the ball on the floor.
Miller all the way, couldn't get it happening. And Fowler on the other end for Sandhills Valley goes right at the charge and finds the bucket very clean. Inbounds back to Miller from Thornton. We're across the timeline. There's Riley Schmidt. And that ball's just going to be picked off by Jalen Fowler, who says once more coast to coast, and that's 2 more. We are looking at 30-26 now. Sandhills Valley up over AM, and that's going to be a timeout. 2.5 minutes to play in the third.
We'll take a timeout as well and come back with the remainder of the third period here on KCNI Pure Country, as well as the Sandhills Express Facebook and YouTube pages.
The Anselmo-Merna community members and alumni. Paid for by Tri-S Ag, supporting the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes.
Consolidated Companies is a proud sponsor of our student athletes. Everyone wants to get to the events and cheer on their students, but sometimes you just can't. Keeping up to date on all the local sports is hard to do, but Consolidated Superfast Broadband can change that. Find all the latest information on local school and broadcast channel web pages, along with news and weather. For more information, call Consolidated at 1-800-742-7464. Plus, look for them now on Facebook, facebook.com/Consolidated Companies.
Thornton inbound the ball to Myers, AM basketball. Top of the key, Myers gets a handle on the dribble, plays it back to Priest. Priest at the elbow, she goes up, it's going to be a travel.
That was just a good job by Fowler, again, being there. Caused her opponent to not know what she wanted to do right out of the gate, and it causes the turnover.
Fowler inbounds to Nicholson, Abigail Nicholson, who plays it inside to Emily Nicholson. Top of the key, there's Abigail. Abigail plays it wide to Kelsey Amos, who is double teamed there in the corner. Poked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Sandhills Valley. 30-26, under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Jalen Fowler's calling out plays. She pulls the trigger, and in comes the ball, poked away. Still going to be Sandhills Valley ball. Emily Nicholson plays it off to Dimmitt. Dimmitt back to Nicholson, can't quite get it. It was over her head, the far shoulder, and she couldn't quite wrangle it.
Well, those are going to be those types of turnovers that Sandhills Valley looks back on at the end of this one. When they're trying to put away an opponent with this 4-point lead, that's an opportunity thrown away that they could have built on that lead with.
Myers gets the ball poked away on an inside pass to Bartok, and there was a whistle.
Well, Anselmo-Merna, before that last time out, and kind of here as of late, is continue to try to force that ball inside. I understand wanting to get inside with the basketball, but forcing it and turning it over is also not going to do you any favors.
Myers to Thornton at the top of the key. That is off the iron, no good, but she's found another look, and that one almost goes. Myers there on the rebound, says, I've got your back. Underneath, we're going to have a jump ball. Tangled up there. It looks like that was Kelsey Amos who got tangled up with Bartok, and it will stay with Anselmo-Merna. Myers on the inbound. Taps the ball, puts everyone to action. Over the top to Safranik, who's got it at about the free throw line, one-on-one against Fetty. That'll be Bartok, who plays it wide to Thornton. Another three. She's 0 for 3, but she's not giving up. The 2 from the free throw line is no good, and that's going to be a Sandhills Valley rebound. We are contested rebound. We're going to get another jump ball.
Boy, Sandhills Valley really doing the right things on the rebounding side of things. I know they gave up the first offensive rebound to their opponent, but that time around, getting on the floor, grabbing the basketball, limiting them to no points.
Fowler to Nicholson once again. Oh, top of the from outside. That was Abigail Nicholson who drained a three. It is now 33-26 AM. Safranik underneath the hoop the other way. Can't get the handle, and it's going to be Sandhills Valley basketball with 52.7 seconds left in the third.
Sandhills Valley outscoring Anselmo-Merna 11-4 in this quarter after we were tied at 22 apiece. And remember, Grant, this is a quarter we went over half of waiting for our first score in.
No kidding. It's picking up pace now. Jalen Fowler calls out, looks for something, plays it at the wing, top of the key to Abigail Nicholson. Beats Thornton on the dribble to the wing. That's Fetty, nothing there. Back to Jalen Fowler, who looks inside. Nicholson is wide open, and she's going to get one right there underneath the hoop. Great cut, vision, and execution all at once. It is 35-26 now.
What a play. An amazing play, drawn up and executed to perfection by Sandhills Valley.
And she hits the one. 36-26. It's a double-digit difference between the Mavericks and the Coyotes here with 31.2 left in the third. Priest inbounds the ball to Myers, who is looking as she crosses the timeline, picks up the dribble to Miller, who fakes the shot, dribbles to the free throw line, and there's a whistle. It looks like that one will go against Sandhills Valley.
That's going to be the third on Jalen Fowler. She's the third Mav to pick up her third foul.
Thornton goes up the three off the inbound, and she drains it.
They call it a two.
They call it a two.
Toe on the line.
Wow. The long distance two makes it an 8-point game now. 36-28 Mavericks, who keep the ball after a drop dribble. Jalen Fowler calling out a play from the baseline. The movement. Inbounds, nope, not quite to Fetty. The double coverage was there. Back to Nicholson. Plays it to Jalen, who somehow snuck out to the top of the key. She takes a three, that goes.
Two, had a foot over the line.
And that's the end of your third quarter. It is the Sandhills Valley Mavericks 38 and the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes 28 going into the fourth.
Well, lots of good action as we head to the fourth. 8 minutes on the clock. It's a 10-point lead for Sandhills Valley. Back after this on KCNI Pure Country.
Central Nebraska Diesel is a proud sponsor of high school sports and the student athletes who work hard each and every day. They're also proud to offer you Rainke products. When you need performance that you can count on, ask them about Rainke. Central Nebraska Diesel is happy to bring this action to those who can attend. Enjoy the broadcast, and when you need pivot service from start to finish, call Central Nebraska Diesel at 643-2544. Rainke, more right than rain.
Brandon and Barb Miller with Cursive O Cattle are proud Anselmo-Merna Coyote supporters. Selecting for superior genetics and raising cattle in a sustainable manner has always been the foundation of Cursive O Cattle. Just like the athletes in the game, their offering of bred heifers and feeder cattle were developed to perform with excellence. Contact them in Myrna, proud supporters of the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes and this broadcast. Brandon and Barb Miller with Cursive O Cattle of Myrna.
And we are back for the start of the fourth quarter. The inbound pass was to Myers, who plays it to the top of the key to Bartok, who drives, dishes it out to... No. The shot by Miller was no good, and it's Sandhills Valley basketball. Jalen Fowler looks to the top of the key, taken away by Thornton at the free throw line. Pretty nice looking defensive stop there. And it looks like we've got Haley Dimmitt checking back in the game for Sandhills Valley. Miller now to inbound to Myers, who takes it across the timeline with a little bit of pace.
That was the fourth on Jalen Fowler. Worth noting, she's the leading scorer for the Mavs.
We got Safranek, who went up for a bucket there. It looks like she might have been fouled. She's going to the line. These are probably the points you really, really need to pick up if you're down double digits and can stop the clock and score. Safranek dribbles, the shot is up, and it falls. Cut the lead to 9 now, 38-29, 7.5 to go in the fourth. Safranek wipes her hands off, dribbles, sets up for the second shot. The second goes as well. It's an 8-point game. The ball inbounded from Fetty to Dimmitt. Dimmitt can't quite dribble around the press. That ball's out of bounds off the hands of Emily Nicholson. It is Coyote basketball with a chance to cut the lead to 6.
Well, when you're down in basketball games, you've got to find something that you can hang your hat on and find some momentum with, and it's that press for the Coyotes.
Myers played it to Miller, who makes an excellent move, can't get it to go. Safranek is right there with the rebound under the hoop. It is a 6-point game, 38-32 with just over 7 to play. A reach, that's going to be a foul on Safranek. They're pressing hard though now.
Yep, they're going to get Shaylin on that one. That's just her second though.
Spreads the arms, plays defense. Fetty inbounds to Nicholson. Nicholson beats Thornton on the dribble, gets it across the timeline. The pick was set nicely. Back to Dimmitt. Dimmitt can't see a whole lot. Dribbles to Kramer, who couldn't quite get a handle on it there. On the wing, it's going to be another turnover.
And a timeout is going to be called on the floor. Sandhills Valley kind of getting ahead of themselves, not only because of the pressure of Anselmo-Merna on the floor, but just the energy of the building is causing them to do some things that they weren't doing in the first 3 quarters.
Absolutely. This has been pretty uncharacteristic, at least in this game. We haven't seen a whole lot of traveling calls, which we've seen pretty much for the first 3 quarters, because the basketball is just moving too quickly, and I think if you can't get a handle on it, you're going to turn it over in ways that are not traveling.
A score update coming from our friends Brent and Larry on the other side of the bracket. Games going on over on our sister station, KBBN 95.3 FM. At the half, Sandhills Sedford, the number 1 seed, leading Arthur County by 10 at a score of 20-10. You might remember earlier on in the evening, we reported to you that the 5 seed Twin Loop beat the 4 seed Mullen at a score of 41-35 over on that side of the bracket. So Twin Loop advancing to the semifinals. They'll find out if they are going to be joining Sandhills Sedford or Arthur County there. Earlier on this evening, South Loop getting the victory 45-16 right here.
Miller to Myers on the inbound for Anselmo-Merna, who gets it across the timeline. Miller looks from the corner, looks for the corner, nothing there. The pressure's collapsing. Thornton for 3 once more. That one's not quite going to go, but she gets her own rebound after it rattles around. Here comes Miller on the drive, hesitates, dishes it back out to Myers. Myers to Thornton, who goes up, can't quite find it, but it looks like she's fouled on the way.
I tell you what, Lily Thornton is playing with a lot of energy. She's putting in some really, really good minutes for Coach Kirchman. He's got to be happy with the energy she's bringing, and she's just kind of filling those spaces on the floor, working that spacing to her advantage on the offensive end.
And she knocks down the first free throw as well. So now it is a 5-point lead for the Mavericks. Thornton looking to cut it to 4.
Big couple-minute stretch coming up here for both of these teams.
And there's the bucket. 2-possession game now. Abigail Nicholson looks to inbound the ball, can't find anything right off the bat. Plays it into Emily Nicholson, who is dribbling right into Shaylin Safranek. Abigail Nicholson crosses the timeline. Thornton on her. Close to the baseline. To the wing, double coverage. The hold from Emily Nicholson, with Safranek staying tight on coverage. Dimmitt holds, dishes back. Nicholson to Nicholson, no 3, the look for it, off the foot of Thornton. Dimmitt breaks free, she's at the free throw line, she drives, a whistle, we're gonna have another travel.
Well, Sandhills Valley is having a heck of a time applying themselves against the pressure that the Coyotes have ramped up here to start the 4th quarter. I don't know what Coach Kirchman said between the 3rd and 4th quarters, but it really inspired this Coyotes defense, and Sandhills Valley is having a really hard time responding.
Miller to Myers on the inbound, who played it back to Miller. We got another whistle. It looks like a timeout will be taken by Anselmo-Merna.
We'll take one as well. 5:41 on the 4th quarter clock. The Mavericks lead it over the Coyotes 38-34 here on KCNI.
Electricity. We use it every single day. Kristen Electric is ready to help you with your electric projects and underground farm remodels and new construction. If it needs electricity, Kristen Electric can get it there. Call 308-258-4164. They'll figure out a plan to get you on the way to having reliable electricity. For underground, farm, remodels, and new construction. Proud to support the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes by sponsoring this broadcast. Kristen Electric.
Prime time under the Knights, MNAC quarterfinals here at the Merna Gym. Anselmo-Merna down 4 with 5:41 to play. Inbounds the ball. Safranek double coverage, triple coverage in the lane. Still manages to go up with it. Nothing happening, but there is another foul. If you can get to the line now, that's pretty big. It's kind of the start of this quarter, and that trend is sort of continuing now for the Coyotes.
Emily Nicholson becomes the second Mav to pick up her 4th foul on that play. So we'll keep an eye on that as there's still 5.5 minutes to play in this game.
Fetty's going to check back in for Emily Nicholson, and it looks like Abigail Nicholson is checking in for Haley Dimmitt for the Sandhills Valley Mavericks. Safranek still at the line to take the second free throw of 2. She dribbles, bends the knees, puts it up, and that one will not go. Contested underneath the rim, though, that rebound out to Jalen Fowler, and it looks like the Mavericks are running their offense. Little tempo there. She brings it to the wing, down to the corner. Fowler plays it up to Nicholson. It's blocked. Miller with the block, and she's moving numbers now. Shaylin Safranek goes up, and nothing happening. She will go to the line, though. That's 2 more free throws. So 4 free throws in a row coming up for Shaylin Safranek.
Well, you're not going to score the points as quickly at the free throw line as if you were scoring them from the field, but you do put a bunch of pressure on your opponent as another Sandhills Valley Maverick has picked up their 4th foul. That would be Shelby Laher, and after going 0 of 2 the last time to the line, Safranek knocks home that first one.
And here she is for number 2 to cut it to a 2-point game with 5:18 remaining in the 4th. Ball is up, and it falls. Rolls around. Jalen Fowler inbounds the ball to Abigail Nicholson, who's going to dribble it past Thornton. Thornton catches her. Double coverage there on Nicholson, which is really nice. Goes up for the 3. That's off, and it's going to go out of the bounds on the baseline near us. And it's going to stay with Sandhills Valley. Jalen Fowler calling out the numbered play. A lot of movement now. Dimmitt on the wing, the inbound to Nicholson. Nicholson drives back to Fowler. Thought about the 3, didn't take it. The 2, mid-range, it drops. That was pretty.
Wow.
5 minutes to go. It's 40-36, Mavericks up. Miller brings it into the front court, into the lane. It's up. Safranek drops the bucket and is fouled on the way there. She'll be going to the line for a 3-point chance.
Yeah, and I think she caught Amos with an elbow when she was coming back down. But Amos doing a good job of shaking it off. She goes down there on the opposite block, and she's going to stay in the game. She doesn't want Coach to take her out, but that was a good and one opportunity made by Safranek.
Safranek with the ball goes up. Nothing doing there. It's still a 2-point game. The ball's out after some fighting underneath the hoop. It is Anselmo-Merna basketball. Safranek comes down with the rebound. Miller goes up. The bucket's in. We are tied at 40, Jeremy, with 4:38 to play. Fowler, a pick set. She moves the ball back to Nicholson, who's at the top of the key. Drives, plays it to the wing to Fetty. Up to Jaden, who is driving to the lane. Nice look at the bucket. Can't get it to fall. Miller comes down with the rebound. It is Coyote basketball, and they are pushing. Miller gets by Fowler. Wide open 3 for Myers. Does it go? Not quite. Dimmitt with the rebound, and that was almost picked off. Fowler moving now, pushing the offense, seeing what she can find as she crosses the timeline. There's going to be a, oh my gosh, a foul.
Yep, they're going to, I believe, get a moving screen. Or excuse me, they're going to get that on Bartok. And Bartok, same situation as what we saw there in the first half. Bartok running into a screen that I didn't hear a Coyote yell out that screen was coming. If I'm Carly, I'm kind of asking for someone to at least let me know that I'm about to run into a wall.
Yeah, common courtesy. Nicholson glued by Thornton. Emily Nicholson, who just checked into the game now, dishes the ball to Fetty, who plays it back to Jalen. A little bit of distance behind the line. Dimmitt gets the ball. She plays it out. And that's going to be out of bounds. Can't quite get the handle. Can Emily Nicholson. It's going to be Coyote basketball. 3:49 to play. We are knotted at 40. Miller plays the inbounds to Myers, and the Coyotes are off and running their offense. There's the wing. Miller's got it. At the block she goes up, not going to fall for her. Loose ball. Emily Nicholson slows it down, thought about it, ended up finding Abigail. Abigail spins into the lane at Safranek. It's not going to go. Lily Thornton with the rebound. Where's she going to push it? It's going to be out of play, poked away by Abigail Nicholson. Nice stand. Anselmo-Merna basketball, 3:21 to go, knotted at 40. We got a timeout.
Well, here we go. Anselmo-Merna coming from behind in this quarter. Sandhills Valley trying to hold on to things. The switch-ups from Coach Kirchman are causing problems for Sandhills Valley. They'll talk a couple of things over. And when we come back, we'll have the remainder of the fourth quarter for you right here on KCNI.
Dewey from Dewey's Implement and Welding in Myrna would like to wish all our area athletes good luck as they compete. May you do your best doing what you can with no regrets. When you come to Myrna, check out Dewey's Farm and Feed Mixers, Kelly Ryan Wagons, Highline Bale Processors, Matheson Welding Gases, ATV Weed Sprayers, and Interstate Batteries. Call 308-872-1972 for a demo or stop by 413 3 Center in Myrna.
3:21 left here in the fourth quarter of this MNAC quarterfinal matchup between the Sandhills Valley Mavericks and the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes. This has been an absolute thriller, a little bit of a lull in the start of that third quarter, but since then it has just been electric.
Well, if you're the Coyotes, it's simple. You've got to keep your foot on the gas, keep applying pressure defensively, keep bringing the energy, and keep kind of putting the pressure on Sandhills Valley. They've been having a hard time finding the scoring here in the fourth quarter, only putting 2 points up on the board if you're the Mavs.
Myers running the offense now from the top of the key. Anselmo-Merna basketball. She plays it to Miller, who dribbles it back to the top of the key from the right side to Thornton, who's on the wing. Right at the free throw line, dishes it inside out to Myers, who knocks down a mid-range two, and that is a Coyote lead, 42-40, 3 minutes to go.
What a time to get your first 2 points of the game.
Jalen Fowler across the timeline, and now you can hear the gym coming alive. They are on their home floor, is Myrna. Fetty plays it to the wing. There's Abigail Nicholson, who gets close, can't quite. Jalen for three, not gonna go, but Emily Nicholson puts it up, no. Whew. McKenna Miller came away with that rebound somehow. Lily Thornton plays it to Safranek, who's got momentum. That's going to be two. 44-40, 2.5 to go. Coyotes up. Jalen Fowler pushing across the timeline. Is she going to take it herself? A little floater it goes. Wow. Nice looking bucket. She saw it the whole way. Across the timeline goes Myers. You wonder if they're going to slow it down a little bit here. Plays it to Thornton on the wing, who tries a three of her own. It's not going to go. Gets her own rebound. Plays it out to the wing. Nothing happening. Inside to Safranek. Safranek dribbles into the lane. Can't quite find that final pass, and that's going to be a foul. They're going to whistle Safranek for a foul there.
That's going to be her third. And no Coyotes really in any foul trouble besides Shaylee Coleman, who we haven't seen on the floor for a little bit.
Jalen Fowler inbounds. An Anselmo-Merna defense that was hanging back on their end for that inbound play. Dimmitt's got it, plays it to Emily Nicholson, and the crowd is chanting defense, defense. Dimmitt stumbles over it, gets the pass off to Nicholson. We've got a travel. That's going to get the basketball back in the hands of Anselmo-Merna with 1 minute and 43 seconds to play. It is a 2-point game. The Coyotes are up.
For Coach Melvin, the message to her team in this timeout can be as simple as 2 words. Calm down. They haven't been making those mental mistakes as often as they are here in the fourth, but this is what home court advantage can do for you if you're in Anselmo-Merna or on the other side of Sandhills Thedford of the bracket. They can bring that energy, the crowd can get behind you, and it can stress out your opponent a little bit. And we've seen that. This was a large lead that Sandhills Valley carried into this fourth quarter. They've only been able to put 4 points on the board. On the other side, Anselmo-Merna putting together enough on my stat sheet that I can't even add it up quickly enough, just glancing at it. So Anselmo-Merna needs to keep that energy. It sounds like the crowd is going to keep that energy as well. Sandhills Valley just has to get some good, sound offensive sets. In their minds, subconsciously, they might be thinking they're down a lot more than 2 here, the way this fourth quarter has gone. but they're only down 2. A couple of good offensive sets here, and they are in business. So they just need to come in, lower that heart rate a little bit, and Sandhills Valley can do this.
Miller's going to inbound the ball to Myers, a combination we've seen a lot of, and she's going to take it across the timeline and run the offense. A lot of distance between her and her team. Thornton takes the ball, top of the key behind the three-point line. Miller's going to drive, double coverage. We're going to get a push-off. There's a foul.
I think they're going to get Haley Dimmitt on this one. One of the few Sandhills Valley Mavericks on the floor that can afford to pick up a foul. Shelby Leher with 4, as is Emily Nicholson and Jalen Fowler, all with 4 fouls.
Miller puts up the first free throw, and it bounces off, no good. Still 44-42, a minute and 31 seconds. Chance to make it 45-42 for Anselmo-Merna if Miller can knock this down. Ball is up, and it falls. 45-42, Fetty inbounds the ball to Nicholson. Nicholson across the timeline, guarded by Thornton. Sticking to her pretty hefty, the freshman is. Almost poked away. Jalen Fowler's got the ball. She's dangerous. She can shoot. There's a play to the outside to Dimmitt. Wrangles it, controls it. Bounces it to Fetty, who plays it inside to Nicholson at the free throw line, who drives at the blocks. No good, and that's going to be a foul.
Well, we'll see who they whistle this one on. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, they're going to get this one on Anselmo-Merna's Rhiannon Myers, which is a call I agree with, because McKenna Miller had the block up top, but Rhiannon had the contact down below, and these are big free throws for Sandhills Valley.
And Abigail Nicholson knocks the first big one down. Here comes number 2. That falls. It is 45-44 Coyotes with a minute and 8 seconds to play. Myers across the timeline. One-on-one with Fowler. Plays it to Miller. Miller on Dimmitt. No movement. To the corner to Safranek, who fakes. Plays it back out. It's a turnover. Dimmitt snatched it away. And she's on the move to Fowler. Numbers, nothing happening. Can't quite get it. Myers now with the ball on the far side, getting it across the timeline to Bartok. Bartok to Thornton. 38 seconds now. And there's going to be a whistle.
Well, this one might be going on Abigail Nicholson, which by my mark, she is one of the few players that has no foul. Yeah, that's just her first foul somehow in this foul-heavy game. She plays a lot of minutes, but somehow she has eluded picking up a foul.
Thornton puts up the free throw. It's good. 2-point lead for the Coyotes, 46-44. 36 and a half to go. We've got a timeout.
We'll step away as well. We'll be back in plenty of time for the final 36 and a half here on KCNI Pure Country.
Some secrets just can't be kept. At the Secret Garden, their store is filled with unique gifts, handmade crafts and antiques, cards, candies, candles, and much more. They now carry Day Spring devotions as well. Open the first and third Friday and Saturday of each month. Galatians 6, verse 9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. The Secret Garden, outside of Merna, proud to help sponsor this broadcast of the Anselmo-Merna Coyotes.
46-44 here with 36 and a half seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Anselmo-Merna leads this one. We are still in a timeout. Probably a lot to talk over here while we count down these final seconds, wouldn't you suppose?
Yeah, this is when things get intense. This is when it's really putting a spotlight, your free throw shooting and your ability to do it to put away a game. I don't believe in the announcer's curse because I believe in every single person that goes to the free throw line. That being said, Lily Thornton is 3 for 3 in this quarter. All of her free throws in this quarter have gone in. She did miss one in the second quarter earlier on in this one. That's the other reason that I feel like I'm not cursing this situation.
Well,
she's got a good-looking shot.
Nails it. It's 47-44, 3-point lead with 35 seconds to go for Anselmo-Merna. Jalen Fowler into the front court, looks around. A lot of movement on her wings, a lot of crossing. There it is to Abigail Nicholson, who drives, steps up, nothing happening. We got a collision down on the near block. 2 shots, it looks like, coming up for Sandhills Valley and Abigail Nicholson. What an effort to get that opportunity. She just went right at the bucket.
Well, and they're going to get, they're going to get Lily Thornton on this one. That is her third, as the first one is knocked home from Nicholson. And Nicholson didn't really have an angle there. She just did a good job of initiating the contact.
And the second one is up, and that falls. We had a 1-point game with 24.1 seconds to go. Safranek to inbound the ball. Fetty giving her trouble. We got a timeout, AM. 47-46 with 24.1 seconds to play. This could be quite a finish.
We'll keep it here. It's just a short timeout. Gives us an opportunity to promote some of our broadcasts coming up later on this week. Of course, that continues on tomorrow with the MNAC Boys Tournament. Now, those games are going to be on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages, also going to be on KBBN 95.3 FM. We're going to have the games for you from Arnold. Arthur County Advanced beating Twin Loop on Saturday. They will play the top-seeded and state-ranked South Loop in that matchup. The earlier game in action tomorrow will be the 4-seed Sandhills Thetford facing the 5-seed Cody Kilgore. Should be a lot of fun tomorrow. We hope you join us right here if you're watching the video stream, or on our sister station KBBN 95.3 FM if you're listening to the radio broadcast.
We are back. It looks like Rhiannon Myers is going to inbound this ball for Anselmo-Merna. We'll see what they dialed up in the meantime. They spread the floor pretty wide at the elbows all the way to the wings. Little hesitation, and she throws it away. Abigail Nicholson goes to the bucket and is fouled. There's going to be 2 shots. Big
turnover both ways. Obviously, AM can't afford to turn it over, trying to put this one away with a fragile lead. And they put one of the better free throw shooters that we've seen in this contest at the line. And Rhiannon Myers has just picked up, I believe, it was her 5th foul. So she's the first player to foul out of this one.
Addison Priest to step in her place. And Nicholson knocks down the first. It is 47-all with 22.5 to go, and she's got a free throw to shoot. There's the shot. It's in.
That's her 11th make from the line.
48-47, 20 seconds to go. Miller plays it across, almost gives it away. Safranek's controlling the ball here from the top of the key. Not a lot of movement inside. Nice look from Miller, but it's not happening. Miller goes up again after a contested rebound. Nothing happening. Fetty plays the ball to Fowler. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, 1 second left. She's fouled. Fowler is going to be fouled with 0.7 seconds to play in this one. The Sandhills Valley Mavericks are winning by 1. She's at the line shooting 2.
Well, the situation here is if these are 2 makes, this one is all but done. They're going to put some more time up on the clock.
13.
They're going to put 13 seconds on the clock. And you know that Anselmo-Merna is, not working the clock here in the home court because they should have had that reset. They're going to put it 1.3 after they get it reset back down. I thought 13 was a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
that's a little bit different. But
it's a big give.
1.3 is a big difference between what was showing on the clock. You can take a dribble and shoot now, but it's going to have to be the full length of the floor.
Doubles the time, and she sinks the first. 49-47, huge free throw coming up for Jalen Fowler, who has been an enormous spark for this Sandhills Valley team all night long.
She had 6 in the first half, 6 in the third quarter. This would make it 6 in the fourth.
And it's in. Shaylin Safranek holds the ball. A lot of movement, and it's stolen by Fowler, who puts it in at the buzzer. Wow. 52-47, if they count the bucket, which I think they might. Jalen Fowler steals the ball on the inbounds pass from Safranek and just puts the game effectively to bed. What a finish. What an incredible performance from both of these teams.
Well, and I don't see an extra 2 points going up on the board, so they're not going to count that, but it is, as it stands, a 3-point victory for Sandhills Valley, who did just enough late in this one. They waited to put their foot on the gas at the end of that contest, but wow, what a finish. Anselmo-Merna came driving back in the fourth quarter. They applied more pressure with the press. The crowd ramped it up a notch. They made things more intense on Sandhills Valley, and they came through it on the other side. What an amazing game for the Mavericks. A big victory for them. They'll be moving on in the MNAC tournament on this side of the bracket, and they will advance into the semifinals, getting the victory over the 2-seed. Sandhills Valley beat Cody Kilgore on Saturday 33-26, and then they come in here and they defeat Anselmo-Merna on their home floor in the quarterfinals to advance in the MNAC tournament. I'm going to add up some of these numbers. When we come back, we'll give you a look at them before we close out our broadcast here on KCNI.
Yes, we do. We've got spirit. How about you?
Here at Nebraska State Bank, we've got school spirit. Introducing mascot debit cards from Nebraska State Bank. Now you can go to your local NSB branch and request a new debit card for your favorite high school team. The Broken Bow Indians, South Loop Bobcats, or Anselmo-Merna debit cards are available by instant issue. You'll only pay $10, and the entire amount will be passed along to your school. It's a win-win situation, right? Take your school pride to the next level at Nebraska State Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
The grocery cart is proud to bring you this sports broadcast. The case is always full of delicious food you can have right away, or talk to the staff about your upcoming event and they'll make food for you. There's a wide selection of salads, and don't forget Chester's chicken buckets and strips. If the occasion calls for a cake, you can have it decorated how you'd like. Call the GK Deli at 872-2206 or stop by inside the grocery cart in Broken Bow.
Government-guaranteed loans have great advantages to propel you towards starting your business or selling your business, including long-term fixed interest rates, 30-year repayment terms, and limited down payment or equity requirements, and blue sky funding. The list of what they can be used for is even longer. Custer Federal State Bank has the solutions and programs to make your vision a reality. Talk to their lending team today. Custer Federal State Bank, member FDIC.
Are prairie dogs wreaking havoc in your pastures? Then get rid of them with Rosol from Aeroseed. Rosol is a restricted-use pesticide approved for use on prairie dogs by licensed pesticide applicators between October 1st and March 15th. Rosol is an easy-to-use bait that provides excellent acceptance, has superior weatherability, and proven reliability. To learn more about Rosol, call or stop by Aeroseed in Broken Bow today.
When your car gets dented, dinged, smashed, or smacked, the last thing you should have to worry about is it being in the right hands to get it fixed. When you choose Rod's Body and Paint in Broken Bow, your vehicle will leave their shop looking great. Don't forget, Rod can also help you with those windshield chips. Take care of them before they get worse and cost you more money. If your windshield already needs replaced, they can do that too. Rod's Body and Paint on the curb, west of Broken Bow.
If you've been injured or recovering from surgery, your first priority is to treat your problem. At Team Physical Therapy, we will evaluate, treat, and educate you about your specific roadblocks. We offer many therapists to help. Stop by one of our locations in Broken Bow, Burwell, Callaway, Gothenburg, and Kearney, or call 872-5111. We have great resources online at myteampt.com or call 872-5111 Team Physical Therapy, together empowering able movement.
The student athletes you are cheering on during this broadcast practice and study in order to get their competition and schoolwork done right. At Trotter Service, they do the same, except with your vehicle repairs. Whether you need a new battery, brake work, and alignment, tires, wheels, or an overhaul, trust their auto repair specialists to tackle the job. Don't forget bulk oil and fuel delivery and on-the-farm tire truck service too. Proud to help bring you this broadcast, Trotter Service in Broken Bow.
Ready or not, here comes the chilly season. Are you already noticing some cold drafts coming into your home, chilling the air? Don't make your heating system work harder than it needs to. Talk to Mead Lumber in Broken Bow about insulation solutions to keep the cold where it belongs, outside. The helpful staff at Mead Lumber in Broken Bow can offer solutions that will save you money when the weather gets chilly. Talk to them today, East Highway 2, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
We are back here at the Merna Gym, where the 7-seed Sandhills Valley Mavericks have just stunned the host Anselmo-Merna Coyotes 50-47 in the MNAC quarterfinals. And to tell us how we wound up there is Jeremy Shipe.
Well, I think to exactly figure out how we got here, you guys got to watch that replay on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages. It'll be made available to you once this one is over, so make sure you go and check that out because it got real intense there if you're just joining our broadcast right now. It'll be a fun one for you to watch back. Let's take a look at the numbers for Sandhills Valley, and spoiler alert, this is one that came down to the free throw line, essentially. When it comes down to the final numbers, the free throw line is what it came down to. For Sandhills Valley, they were led in scoring by Abigail Nicholson. She had 22 on the evening, followed closely by Jalen Fowler with 18. Arena Fetty had 5, 2 apiece for Emily Nicholson and Haley Dimmitt, and 1 point put in by Shelby Layer. 50 points total for Sandhills Valley. Worth noting, they were 17 of 20 from the free throw line. Knocking down 11 of those free throws was Abigail Nicholson. She was 11 of 12 from the free throw line. Big fourth quarter from the line for her, went 6 of 6 to keep the lead for Sandhills Valley. For Anselmo-Merna, they were led by Shaylin Safranik. She had 22, 10 points for Carly Bartok, 7 for McKenna Miller, 6 for Lily Thornton, and 2 for Rhiannon Myers. Anselmo-Merna, on any given night, 19 of 27 from the free throw line is pretty darn good. It'll win you a lot of basketball games, but when your opponent only misses 3 from the line, more specifically when they hit them down the line like they did in the fourth quarter, they didn't miss a single free throw in the fourth quarter, did Sandhills Valley. They went 8 of 8 from the line to put this one away. So it was a big victory for Sandhills Valley. They'll be moving on to the semifinals, which, by the way, we'll have the coverage of right here at KCNI KBBN Radio and the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages. The semifinals, the finals, and the third place game of both the girls and boys bracket are all going to be where you folks watch this one tonight.
Well, that about wraps it up for us from Myrna. For myself, Grant.
Can't close her out yet. We got to thank our sponsor.
Oh,
I just
wanted
you to kill a little bit of time here. I got to do some computer work here. So give me your final thoughts on these 2 games that we saw here tonight, Grant.
Well, there's going to be a lot that Anselmo-Merna is going to have to do to right the ship. They did a lot of things that were just incredible tonight, and they just couldn't quite get it together to close it out. But again, as you said, it was a matter of hitting those consistent kind of give me free throws down the line that puts Sandhills Valley over the top in this one. And Sandhills Valley they're cooking a little bit. They're going to get into the semifinals, and with this confidence-boosting win on an opponent's home floor that was so much lower seeded than you're going to be able to do a lot more in the tournament than I think you can, and also than you thought you could before, and also in the remaining third of the season. It's going to be an exciting couple of months.
Should be a lot of fun, and thank you, Grant, and thank you folks for tuning in tonight. Again, earlier on in the evening, South Loop with the commanding win over Hyannis by a score of 45-16, and Anselmo-Merna just falling moments ago to Sandhills Valley by a score of 50-47 in a thriller at the end of that one. On the other side of the bracket, Twin Loop getting the victory over Mullen, 41-35. Sandhills Thetford at last report was leading Arthur County on the other side of the MNAC girls bracket. Again, don't forget to join us tomorrow. We'll have games from Arnold on KBBN Radio 95.3 FM, as well as our video stream, as South Loop hosts all the games from Arnold. The first game will be Sandhills Thetford and Cody Kilgore. That will be at 5:30 Central. And then it's the top seed, South Loop. They are ranked in the state rankings according to the Omaha World Herald as well. They will face 8 seed Arthur County, who got the victory over Twin Loop back on Saturday. Before we close out the broadcast, want to again send a big shout out to our sponsors that made it possible for you, including the sponsors you hear on every single sports broadcast at KCNI KBBN. Due to Plumbing, Sargent Irrigation, the Garden Center, Bruning Bank, Agland ATV, Geared for Sports, Squire Septic Service of Myrna, A to Z Lawn Pro, Shelter Insurance Agent Brent Custer, Mead Lumber, Trotter Service, Team Physical Therapy, Rods Body and Paint, Arrow Seed, Custer Federal State Bank, Grocery Cart, and Nebraska State Bank. Thank you as well to our each game sponsors. They include The Secret Garden, Dewey's Implement and Welding in Myrna, Kristen Electric, Cursive Oak Cattle, Central Nebraska Diesel, Consolidated, Tri-S Ag, Kimbers in Stapleton, BD Broken Bow, Clang Financial, 4 County Heating and Air, and Scott Harvey, your local Thrive It financial representative. As we close out the broadcast on the video stream, please take note of those sponsors that you see scrolling across your screen. They have brought you the video broadcast this evening from Myrna. For our videographer, Christy Wells, for Grant Winterer, I'm Jeremy Shipe, wishing you a wonderful rest of your evening. Stay tuned for more great MNAC basketball the remainder of this week from KCNI, KBBN Radio, and Sandhills Express Video.